Amplify Rebellion. So we're on stage for Immortals' final game of the split. Dignitas is going to be moving on to the first round of playoffs where they will face 100 Thieves. Dignitas right now is currently playing for the side select in that series. So the
playing for side selection.
Better than the
Dignitas will sweat.
With a victory.
Yeah, we'll
Immortals, brother, guys, come on, have some fun.
See,
you have no pressure.
Picks that we saw coming
None.
out this week were kind of adaptations to the meta, and how much of it was just like, it's the end of the split, let's have some fun, right? Because we got to see Eve, we've gotten to see Aurora come out, we've gotten to see, more and more adaptations. We just saw Nautilus top, which to me made sense logically for a lane swap game. We're going to be low resources anyway. You're kind of just
oh my god, do not lane swap.
Good support, so let's play that. So I'll be interested to see, what is being brought into this for Dignitas, especially, who obviously does care about getting side selection for playoffs.
And Aurora's up, speaking of which, because the bans have been fairly standard. Jensen first picks the Zeri.
Okay, they're going Aurora.
Okay. Red side Aurora for Immortals.
Yeah,
and they can flex it now between
That's a good pick. Exactly. We'll take it for fun.
Mid and top.
I think she's broken, but for fun.
You are seeing it some as support, but in competitive, I haven't actually seen it played support yet. It's been pretty much exclusively in solo lanes, so
then goes in. Oh my god.
To be thrown up in one of those.
Nice, guys!
It's a nightmare to lane against.
Let's go.
Lane, especially as a melee champion. So at the very least,
let's go.
Gonna have that info. And I'll be interested to see, what they're going to cook up against it. Because when I think of Licorice and when I think of the champion pool that he has been bringing out, nothing he plays would want to play against this, right? Like, every matchup for him seems bad. He's been playing a lot of different, kind of playmaking tanks, like the Xante, the Poppy.
Oh, speak of Big Bad Maokai. Oh, he's going to pick somebody else he was type.
Very, very weak against it.
I mean, if it is the Renekton, how do you feel like that matchup would play out? I have some opinions on mid Aurora versus Zeri, but I'm not sure how the Renekton one would go.
I mean, I think it's pretty rough. I think the laning phase for almost all these melee champions is incredibly difficult. You basically have to be able to look for these all-ins, but it's so tough because Renekton slices through a minion, you can pop the E on Aurora, jump back, it slows them down, and then all of a sudden you're caught in this weird pattern where Aurora gets move speed from hitting you with the Q and from getting the spirits, and he's kind of chasing you down, and she's getting these additional damage on the back end of these trades. We generally do see Fleet or Electrocute, but in top, I've seen more Fleet, and there's a lot of different builds that you can go that are pretty hard to burst down.
Let's hope both teams have fun.
You end up just kind of getting stuck under your tower and constantly chipped away at. So I've found it to be a very miserable champion.
Did Bucio say they first time Nautilus Neva?
No,
I didn't.
Yeah, and I would say in mid lane, actually, even though it wouldn't be as favored as you just described for Aurora, I would still feel like Aurora is still good into Zeri because Zeri's a little bit shorter range than, say, a control mage. Like, I think if you're going to blind pick Aurora and you know it's going mid, picking a control mage into Aurora is actually the ideal matchup because of the range advantage. But Zeri is going to be in that one-shot territory throughout a lot of the laning phase if you're ever going for a trade. So I think either way,
Licorice's name is Licorice.
Throw Aurora mid, it's going to be an advantageous matchup. And with the Cassante, the boring Cassante, as the fan said, locked in, I think it's the Aurora.
First seed wasn't on the line, it was second seed.
And we'll see, because there is a possibility that Zeri could also still go bot, right? So they could flex things around if they did want to. We obviously just saw Berserker play a bot lane Zeri game. That's obviously very much his style. I am kind of expecting it to be Zeri mid. We saw this from Jensen. It has been more commonly being played mid, but there is that opportunity for them to flex things around, and especially if Jensen agreed with you and thought, hey, it's a control.
Ew, Black Licorice is disgusting. No.
I guess we'll get to see what he thinks. Because he
Twitch, bro.
did have two strong Zeri games last week in their 2-0 to clinch some playoffs. And especially if Immortals shows their 80 carry pick here, it's going to give Sven the opportunity to pick between Zeri and something else. So I actually kind of really dislike the fact I really dislike the fact that Immortals picked their top lane so early because it now opens them up to get counterpicked in multiple lanes despite having a strong flex pick champion and red side.
Yeah. About Cassante pick, I've been
seeing
it lose all the time.
Of it getting, kind of trimmed down too much in that second phase of bans, but
actually,
it is going to be, potentially that support pick as
Cassante and Rumble, I feel like, are losing every single game.
Bring out here. It is Ziggs, so this could be, again, this is flexible. Ziggs could be bot or mid, so you have two champions here that could be played in either
not
lane,
picked or
and it's going to be probably based off matchup. Of course, we do see more Ziggs bot, more Zeri mid these days, but there is that possibility because I tend to agree with you. I do think that Aurora can sometimes struggle against these champions that can get the push on her, where she can't just poke and prod and be able to harass you.
I think it's Zig's bot just because that's what the meta is.
I think so too, yeah.
But I think if Dig wanted to be really clever, it would actually be Zig's mid.
Go Leona.
Jensen doesn't have a huge amount of Zig's games, although I definitely know he can play it.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, they're for fun. I forgot.
In the Bard.
Yeah, and
I forgot. I was like, dude, wait.
He's smiling.
No, they're actually playing League of Legends.
Bard has been
fucking
very
meta
good, especially when you think
like
back to spring. He had some nasty Bard games where he was really performing well.
I like it, bro.
Ziggs.
Dig wins 2-0 easily, but
it's kind of hard to react to.
We'll root for Immortals.
Bard ultimate, so there is that potential to be able to throw that down, to have Aurora come in, throw down the ulti over top, lock people in place, and be able to use
Jensen
that as
Ziri?
a
he's a bit of a terrorist in this shit. He likes to
so excited to see if Immortals can actually pull something off here with a bit of a unique composition.
And I'm also just excited to see Dignitas doubling down here with some more meta team compositions. This is not traditionally what you'd think these players would be playing. If it was the old school, Sven is the AD carry player, Jensen is the control mage player, they would be playing each other's champions, but they are committing here to the Zeri mid with the Ziggs bot, and I think it's going to be a fun one.
Flavor got me chewing on, bro.
Should be exciting. Side selection on the line here for Dignitas and for Immortals. Playing for Pride, trying to break that 10-game losing streak that they have.
Surely we don't end the split on a 12-game losing streak.
I think made a lot of people after that first week think, hey, this could be a good split for Immortals. This could be a split where they're really kind of separating themselves from the bottom. Did not work out, but now playing for Pride and playing for, as Spawn said, the jobs for next split. We'll have to see if they're going to be able to get it done.
Line.
Which
for jobs for the gut.
Right now, I gotta say, I do like the team with
Stop
Aurora,
saying that.
because I've seen a lot of strong things happening whenever Aurora is on the Rift. And here's some deep digging. I did some deep digging into the statistics.
Okay.
Even though Immortals hasn't won, I'm going to get to the stat in a second because Isles is invading Bard.
Oh, this could be trouble for Olay, but Olay does have the additional move speed from that first meep, it looks like.
All right,
so
he's out, but
he's chilling.
We got to pull this graphic back up because literally when the pressure is on, so almost always, since 2022, last 3 years, 22% win rate, 20 and 70.
Holy shit.
Game immediately after being
They're
eliminated
20 and 70?
4-0.
Since
They're
2022?
an unbeatable team. So watch out for this particular game because the extra stat on top of this is they are then winless after that game.
So
they're gonna win this game and then immediately go 0-2.
So I have the perfect prediction for the series. I said Dig 2-1 because that's what the stats say the last 3 years.
You even know the game order. That makes it even better.
This is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's not even just a 2-1. It's like, well, Immortal's gonna come out hot, win that first game.
And then
all right, let's see what we got.
It's like, oh man,
wait, we could actually
still
win.
tilted, but it is what it is. Okay, Jensen.
As Jensen taking the rough end of a trade there. Aurora is playing Comet this time
was
around.
looking questionable last week.
Fleet, but honestly, I've seen people experiment with a lot of different things with this champion. I think Comet also fairly reasonable, especially
also this Aurora champ. Every single game in LCS has popped off. It's or has at least gotten a lead.
I'll be interested to see what sort of a build he goes for as well, because again, there's just so many different styles of build that you've been seeing online.
X-Jot, think of those gifts. I don't know what you're saying.
I always kind of enjoy the exploration when a champion first comes out. Figuring out like what really works, what matchups it's better to go do different style of builds in.
Yeah, especially with this
we
many
do not respect that hook at all.
They're not as
Guardian
quick to release them as they were
he wants them to hook.
back in the olden days when Spawn was last a caster. Not this last game, but back
in the before times.
Yeah, back in the before times, 2014, 2016. But I completely agree. I would say if he gets ahead, he'll go Malignance. If he's a little bit more even, I think he's going to go something with a bit more durability.
Yep. Yeah, no, it can be interesting. I've seen some people online, especially when
don't get the top matchup off my screen.
Some
get
people
shit off my
are
screen.
A lot with Roa into Lichbane and playing split push style builds. There's some people will do all kinds of different rushes, so it can be fun to see what works, and I think it's matchup dependent.
True.
So,
that MF Clint is a bit weird, isn't it? Is it just for Maokai Flash?
Slow on the reaction when
you're
he
not,
steps forward.
You're not going to Clint's not a snare.
It's already going off, but he keeps getting hit by
Renekton's stun.
Always going to hit confirm that comment. So Jensen definitely taking the rough end of some of these trades and has already used his potion where Mask has more health and still one potion remaining. Going to be feeling pretty good about his spot so far.
We got to keep our eye on Jensen, man. He's a tricky one. I shared this story on Lounge, but I actually ran into the whole Dignitas team.
Okay.
And you never know what direction these types of games are going to go because yes,
Son,
there's
I'm
stakes
busy.
for Dignitas, win or lose, whether they're the 4th seed or the 5th seed. But sometimes it's hard to motivate yourself for these games because it is just side selection and you're going to have the same opponent anyway. And then you have Immortals who's already limited from the LCS, so you never maybe they'll play for fun champions. Sometimes
in games like this, if you
cope, I wanted to check with Dignitas, like guys, how much play bad about
ever, even if you're trying to cope, no, like, well, I wasn't trying because the game didn't matter.
We really do want side selection because it really matters. And then Jensen said, I'm just going to run it down. So maybe it's his reverse psychology to keep himself motivated, but keep your eye on this guy. We don't know if he's going to treat this like a scrim or like the LCS finals.
I think maybe he's just covering his bases. You know, now either way, it's win-win. He's like, I told you, it's just for fun. Who cares about side selection? And if it pops off, he's like, well, I wasn't even trying.
Bro.
It's just that good.
I could be misremembering.
So playoffs, yes.
If I'm putting words in your mouth, but he also said it doesn't matter because we're going to lose next week anyway. So he's just making sure lower expectations so you can rise from there.
Nice.
Yeah, Tactical potentially in some trouble here.
Ew, that should have been at least a flash.
Is getting pretty low on mana. Tactical with the potion running here. We'll see if Isles can find any sort of an angle.
Nasty Nautilus
to try to go in. And Zole, obviously, you know, still sitting pretty healthy
here,
but he's
when things are come back, my internet went out, and true. The rule is, if my power ever goes out, I'm not coming back.
You kind of want to hook in, then use the W for your auto attack reset.
I came back.
Which can get you that little bit more damage than any potential all-in.
Yeah, I'm truly reformed.
Trying to brute force their way in with this wave. 2 points Q for Isles as well, so definitely trying to get that all-in damage. And maybe they're trying to get
they can't die.
A little bit of turret damage. Step up, hit it.
Yeah, and it's going to feel really good when you're actually able to control the lane like this, and you're playing TP. You're not playing that combat stun. You can see Tactical obviously is taking cleanse.
I'm not
kind of needed when there is Renekton, Maokai, and the Nautilus, like a lot of lockdown. So he is going to have to play cleanse, but it does mean that Sven.
Your power didn't go out. True, bro. You think, by the way,
can get your opponent really locked
at the peak of that last game, I low-key reached over and yanked my Ethernet cord out for 20 minutes
as well. He might also need to answer this Bard, who's way earlier to the mid lane off of that reset, so that's what is happening. At least I was running out, but this isn't all in.
Go all out. Yeah, Licorice pops the Dominus. He's gonna flash away to try to get the Q heal off those minions, looking to just try to reset it because he is looking
no
dead.
outplay here.
Castle's got him dead.
This is what we're sweating for with the
first blood there for Immortals.
We got to see that again because that wasn't even close. That
seems
like
that was intentionally
horribly wrong there for Licorice. The wave was slow pushing towards the turret. He probably just took a bad trade while trying to crash it, and Castle hit 6 at a time where Licorice may not have expected it. So let's see. Yeah, Castle is 5, hit 6, immediately goes in for the Q. So that's
not even close. And then we try and like flash, like this 100 HP is going to save us.
Yeah. So this is Castle going back to base.
And you missed the cannon.
Ramble. So he goes back, he buys. Licorice wanted to try to crash the wave. It's just
like,
a little bit of greed in those situations.
My bad, guys.
Even when the wave's in a bad spot, oftentimes you have to TP back with
He's like, we've lost 10 games in a row. There's nothing for me to get excited. We'll find a way to lose this one too. My solo kill doesn't matter.
Good things happening here for Immortals. It is just a very slight lead, but it is one nonetheless.
And I just want to remind the viewers, if you weren't here at the start of the game, when Immortals is in playoff contention, across the last 3 years, they are 20-70. Okay? That's a 22% win rate. When Immortals has been eliminated from playoffs in the very next game, they are undefeated.
This is the very next game.
So Castle knows this. They have the Drake. They are completely on track to repeat history.
Surely I'm not going to get both of my predictions wrong today, right?
Licorice is going to be able to get a bit of trade there. Hasn't been able to go back to base and spend.
I'll never pick them for anything ever again, by the way.
Armeo's coming up here. Will be spotted by the ward, but Licorice, again, in a bit of an awkward spot. We'll see how he's going to try to handle this. He's playing confidently, but maybe too confidently. He's going to get scooped back. Does get the slice through Castle, so we'll be able to dice to safety, and Armeo just wants to help him put this in.
Versus EU at Worlds? They won't make
it so that Castle couldn't go back to base and force him to stay around, not be able to spend up that gold. But unfortunately for him, he should be able to do it.
Yeah, this does expose the bottom lane just a little bit, but Tactical is able to use his ultimate to clear that wave. Both junglers were spotted, so Immortals saw Spica pressuring
lost all credibility because of that. Lose all credibility.
I do wonder, actually, with that last play, if Armeo had just walked over the ward, it felt like Licorice might have actually been a little bit exposed with no flash, no ult, and maybe they could have had another kill, but nonetheless, they got the crash. They got.
What do you mean credibility? You never had any in the first place.
Funny thing, sometimes when you're walking through, you see where you're like, well, surely he's already going to be backing off.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, he's going to think I'm going to back off, so I'm not going to back. You know, it becomes this weird mind game. But yeah, in that case, maybe could have just ran straight in and put a little bit more pressure on him.
Yeah, I mean, Castle landed the Q3, much like he did in the original All-In with the
Bro,
really
I'm challenger right now.
Right
I'm challenger my entire life on every fucking
roll. I do
roll.
actually want to say
I have
like our
almost perfect prediction record. Since I started post-streaming LCS.
His best games, even going back to some of his EG games when he was playing with JoJo, I feel like he had a lot of them on Zinja. So a little bit more bruisery, a little bit more ability to take a lot of farm and dual.
We are getting cooked. That was a weird angle.
Castle goes all out, and Licorice has got to get back to the tower, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it.
Come up.
Castle flashes forward. Licorice tries to dive, but it's to no avail as Castle cuts him in half.
Remember I said earlier when JoJo got solo killed by Quad God? Bro, like there's no
double Cassante solo kills onto the
it's just
Renekton.
Embarrassment.
Wow.
You're solo killed him every professional play with all eyes on you. It's just embarrassing.
Perfect timing. We need to see this one again. He's just actually, while crashing the wave, Licorice tries to contest it, and Castle just doesn't miss a thing. He times the spells perfectly, he gets the kidnapped over the wall, and then the crucial flash and Q3 right there is what's able to secure the kill.
Yeah, that was really nicely done. I also really like the timing on his W to be able to actually.
What do you tell your team there?
Then knock him into the wall, you know, setting up.
Yo, where's my jungle?
Like,
Isles, you gonna roam top of the time? You're like
more of that early game champion. You're behind now, so you can't really even win 1v1 against Castle.
Me personally, I'm saying, yo, by the way, he's been under my tower the entire game. You plan on weak side at me all game, or
gonna be able to try to get
you want to win?
Licorice,
I'm blaming somebody.
Not having, I think, as good of a split as he would have hoped.
Yeah, that's not my fault.
You know, when he obviously left off of Golden Guardians, when they left the league, he was, I think, pretty much unanimously the best top laner in the league, and he hasn't been able to quite get back to that level just yet. But you know, trying to work towards.
Under my tower all game, bro. Can I get some help?
Things about this Dignitas team.
He's playing like I don't have a jungle. Of course I'm losing.
He
doesn't have to respect you, and I have to respect Zin.
To a different date, they're a super team. So some of them call them like a boomer super team, and some people don't think they're going to amount to too much. But I will say they have the experience, and they've reached those peaks in the past, which to me actually increases the chance of them being able to reach those peaks.
Wait, who does Dig play next week?
Being that first team All-Pro on this team. Licorice
if it's RNG, if it's NRG, I think it's a good series.
Several times as well, but that's a good pick.
Yeah, Mask is in a lot of trouble. He's going to go between two worlds, but now he's just going to go back to the spawn. Armeo caught as well, and he is sure to follow here also as Jensen arrives.
And 11 in a row. They play 100 Thieves?
He will be able to walk it out. Mask getting caught out
and there. 11 in a row.
Just to die, and the second kill going
over. Oh, good, guys. You tried your best.
Jensen
nice try, guys. Nope. 12 losses in a row, actually, in the grand scheme of things, isn't too bad. Losing 70 of your last 90 games, guys, actually, it's not too bad.
To pick up
to be fair.
6 grub along with the rest of his team. So he is absolutely off to the races. Watching this one more time, Mask W down to pop over the wall, and then
you guys even Challenger and solo queue? Yeah, they all are. Everybody you see, everybody in these games is Challenger.
Really completely wasted there, so that'll be down for another 2 minutes basically, as well as giving control of the game over to Dig.
Yeah, I mean that early.
But bro, you think these like D1 players playing pro?
It is tough when you do kind of lose those early ults. You know, that's so much of what you pick Aurora for is that playmaking, the potential to actually find these picks. You know, Wing in with the invis, you can even close even more gap. With the weirding, with that E, and then being able to pick people out with the ulti is so powerful, so it's tough when that first one goes wrong.
I will say, they've stabilized a little bit here, picking up their second dragon, stacking up.
Mid-game ads, I forgot the ads before the game. I'm sorry, I was told.
Is going to give him access to that ultimate way more frequently, and let's see if Castle can do it again. Jensen has to flash.
Yeah, Castle is just so strong at this point. Jensen can't hurt him at all. I mean, look at the item completions. He might even get caught here. He could potentially, if that Q hit, maybe chase him down. It's already on an item and a half. Jensen just has tier 2 boots, and he's looking to cash out his call. It's not like he's weak at this point in the game. I mean, he's been farming well and whatnot, but Castle has 2 solo kills to his name and is ridiculously strong. So Zeri is just not even close to being able to hurt this guy.
Ole just stole,
I
believe, several Kruggies from Speaker there with his Bard annoyance. But I completely agree, Castle's a great game. He's just
absolute
This is the most fun part about Bard is just running around being annoying. I love playing with Champion. One of my favorite supports for sure.
And Tactical's gone BF sword, so he's pretty self-reliant. He's just...
Oh, man.
This is definitely the weakest
I mean, is
we've
it
seen
doing
this
anything
Aurora bit.
other than... Because
you're annoying him.
It's wasting Ole's time, and they're both supports, really. He's gone Locket Malcath. He hasn't even gotten
he's got, you know, he's supposed to be out there on the map. He's supposed to be doing things.
He's already cleared all his camps. Like
okay, fair.
He wouldn't be doing anything.
He's pulling a Inspired. Bro, how did FlyQuest...
behind one of his
Dude!
Teammates.
True. I mean, for what it's worth,
Jensen
maybe
in trouble here, but he actually pulls him
He's
under the tower.
huge,
It's even going to matter. Castle just O's all out and takes down Jensen in the face of the turret. Sven's ulti can do
surely
nothing.
I'm not going to get this prediction wrong as well.
3 in a row.
This is like that baseball game where you check the box score, and it's just
did
3
say
home runs for one
earlier
player,
today
and
that
everyone else
Immortals
is
has
struck out
nothing
every
to
time.
lose,
That's
man.
kind of how Immortals is playing at the moment.
Flip a switch.
Yeah, Castle's going crazy, and Immortals going to.
Well, isn't it embarrassing for to lose Immortals?
Like, is in the area, but this would be a
how,
bit
like,
risky
bro, that
here.
should be like pride. Like, you don't want to lose to the worst
team and you
ever
exist.
exists.
Ulti from Sven, so I do think this is dicey. Maybe they're just going to try to poke and prod, see if they can find an angle to steal. And meanwhile, we do have.
Don't give me that coping bullshit. Well, we weren't trying. I don't want to hear it.
Now everyone's shown. Okay. Spica really wants it.
Yeah, they're going to actually look for him. Tactical is back over the wall, but the TP's now coming in, and they're going to try to turn and fight. They go in between two worlds. They lock him down, and they can't actually find Mass. Sven is on the run, had to flash out over the wall. Licorice has arrived as well behind Tactical. I don't think there's any angle for him to re-engage. Surprised
they're still
that
up gold.
Decided to posture so aggressively for that fight when there was no way Jensen could ever join.
Yeah, I agree. Dignitas, whoever was there, really thought that was a good look. That's the only plausible explanation for why they would have gone in that instance, but it is super dangerous.
You're trying
against the Aurora.
It's so cool. That's what I'm saying.
Hit absolutely everyone. It's not.
But
perfect
I'm saying that's
pretty close to being able to be a hard engaged spell, and they very easily pick up the 1-for-0 after getting the Rift Herald.
Yeah, it feels like one of those situations where you're like, okay, let's contest Herald. You realize you can't do that.
Wait, Castle is a Korean top laner? Who do he come from?
Something, and it's kind of that overforce.
Yeah, and they did get something. Licorice took turret on the bot side, so it was a Rift Herald 4 turret global map trade, but they definitely just got a little bit greedy.
Bro, and they get a lot of Korean Academy.
Let's see what Castle can do, man. Three
the
and like
Korean Academy players opt to come to NA because they think they'll be top dog.
On you and the turret helps
and like,
but the stat sheet says you
and in Korea they'll just like rotting on Academy forever.
Them up for you, and then and then the tag falls off and you get it. Yeah, he is really playing well. And it's
money?
On 2
I don't think it's only for money.
Like he's probably going to be on 2 items before Licorice completes his first. So it's definitely a tough spot for them, but gold's still very close overall. Zeri scaling up, but
they want to play professionally.
Find Jensen.
They can't really do it in Korea.
Decides better of it, just trying to buy time for Ole who arrives.
They kill Isles here too.
He's going to pop the lightning crash, trying to run back to the tower. Can he survive? He cannot, as Mass takes him down. Tactical coming in now as well. Looking to slow up Isles.
They might be able
to flash out to safety. It's a good pick. It's down on the bottom side. It's a 1v2 for Castle.
No
he likes his odds. We'll see if he can pull
might actually. Malcath doesn't do damage. He has Locket. No, Locket's down. He might
look to go in. There's the Q3 from Castle. He's trying to run back. He's going to flash over the wall. Flash twisted advance. Comes in. There's the stun from Licorice. They should get the shutdown.
There we go. Showing us where your last place.
A critical bunch of gold there going in towards the Renekton as Ole now finds a Tempered Fate. The binding is there. It does connect on him. And Armeo
never mind.
top of him. Tactical there as well. Another kill going to be picked up. Armeo wanted to give it to Tactical. Had to take it himself as was getting a bit out of range.
And even though Castle fell there, I credit him for that Sven kill at the end of the day because he prolonged that fight for so long, made Dignitas overcommit, and the overall map play is heavily in favor of Immortals. Now you have a situation where Sven is dead, and this is going to be Soul Point going over unless Dig decide to contest this one.
Wait, really?
Third
Dragon already?
Wait.
Yeah, I mean, Spica was looking like he maybe wanted to try to get in, but then realizing there's not really any way to do so. A lot of quick dragons going their way. Dignitas has just not really been prepared to contest at these dragons. And now putting themselves in a pretty dicey spot because this is Hextech Soul. That is one of the best ones in the entire game. And they are now at Soul Point here before 18 minutes has even clicked over in the game. Yeah,
definitely makes me feel like the next Drake fight could decide the game because we know that Zeri scaling is incredibly strong.
What are you talking about?
We also know that Hextech Soul is likely going to be a W for Immortals, but the goal
What did I get shadow banned on,
so
you
Soul
idiot?
fight could actually be very competitive. This is a replay of Castle
Get
going
this
for the
stupid
Soul
cat emo out of here as well.
Over the wall, but it does deliver him straight to Spica. potentially, if he had stayed in the lane and not kidnapped over the wall, maybe he would have had a higher chance of surviving the actual fight. But Dignitas just has to commit so much to him. Flash for Maokai, looks like flash from Renekton as well, both ultimates.
And two flashes for one, they get a bounty.
Sven at the tail end gets picked off, and Hanero is just like, I guess he does have to die eventually.
They're just playing for solid 4 minutes.
It's tough though. I mean, I agree. You know, maybe had he not kidnapped him over the wall, but
Big strong enough to fight.
We had the knowledge. We had the vision.
Ooh, Olay. Okay, Olay.
But between worlds here by Mask, and he is going nowhere fast.
Wait, he has to
knock him down, but doing so little damage.
Okay.
And now the depth charge does interrupt.
I mean, that little damage was
kill at the end of the day. They were struggling to knock down that support. Nautilus had to let the ulti rip there. And now going to try to move up towards top side. We'll see what they can get as they want to take control up around this barren area.
Tactical used to be
straight
good.
over there.
Definitely going to take the kill. I do love Tactical there with the take notes emote from MSI 2021.
That's one of the best emotes they've ever done.
It's really nice, especially when you're able to get the, like, basically,
I guess it was like
thing into instant interrupts into like, take notes, brother.
I love saying.
Also, what happened to Johnson?
You just spam things like
Johnson
that,
guy, bro.
People get so mad.
He's like
exactly.
Prodigy players
so
in an
well,
A.
Herald, dropped here, is going to get the crash in. Won't do enough to actually take down the
Used
tower.
to be so. I remember I've seen these guys in solo queue. They were all so good. They go pro, you never see them again.
When you're playing against Ziggs, that is pretty important to be able to finally unlock that. Take away this bastion of safety here from Sven.
Tired?
Are down, but they are not out. If they can stop this,
he was crazy. He was crazy in solo queue. He was the GOAT. Then he went pro, and you literally, you've never even seen him play solo queue.
I do want to really track Aurora in the next team fight, because even though he suffered an early death getting picked in mid lane, he's got himself in a pretty strong state now. Leandri's Malignant's completed. Level 14, so rank 2 of the ultimate. It's only on a 72-second cooldown at the moment. His one-shot burst is extremely high. There's no magic resistance on the Ziggs or the Zeri, so if he finds the right access, they could really wipe the floor in this next team fight. But if he gets picked up
for 3 hours to do nothing, maybe they play a little bit more than what they used to.
Then it's going to swing the other way. So I really do think this next Hextech fight, or maybe about 30 seconds before it, as they're jostling for vision, is going to be a game decide.
Griffin went to T1 Academy. I seen that actually.
You know, they're playing very heavily in this.
I played that kid who was a Kane one trick during my goal challenge.
Down there. They do have the option, of course, if they think, hey, you know, Dignitas has that space controlled, they can just give up that one dragon and try to play for towers, try to play for something else. But they've already taken down the tier 1 top and bot, so wouldn't be any easy ones. Gonna go between worlds. Is it looking for Sven?
Oh, we have no games played in this character, or what, Mask?
That one unlocked the ult for Sven to walk out and hand delivered himself over to Dignitas.
He just pressed the button too many times, from the looks of it, because we'll need to see that in the replay again. I saw the idea, let's ult them under turret, then let's walk through it to mess with the turret aggro and shoot himself back to the lane afterwards, but he cancels his own ult before he can walk through it.
Castle
and now Castle's here we go.
TP'd in behind him. He has to make sure he doesn't give him away to kidnap him.
Don't flash. It's not worth flashing.
Try to go over towards Sven, and he does go all out. Doesn't get all the
way.
It's
not worth flashing before Dragon.
Now going to get rooted up by Miles. They're looking for the chase. He's jumped over, slice over the wall. Does have the stun. They are going to grab the kill. Nice TP play there by
Even if he lived, it's not worth flashing.
By Dignitas to get back-to-back kills on the IMT soul laners.
And flash burned on both soul laners with only 40 seconds left before this Hextech soul.
Hey, that's what I said.
I don't know if we're going to have time to replay that play in the mid lane. Okay, we actually get to. Let's watch what Mask does here. So if Aurora
runs it down mid,
to the edge of the Aurora
Big
ult,
Brother
he
style,
gets to snap backwards. So I feel like Mask ults in here. If he flashed
out of his ult.
Ultimate.
Even worse. Oh no.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, I thought what he was trying to do was he was going to bounce in, use his spells, and then try to bounce back. But
Big Brother.
But he didn't even turn off his ult. He flashed out of it, which turns it off. So
Big Brother as. Let's go, baby.
It's a new champ.
New champ jitters, I guess. You know, you have to get really used to it and messed up the mechanics on that one. Allows Sven to survive.
And now Dig have first setup. They have good control vision. They have Maokai.
And they have no flashes on either side.
They don't have bot or mid push, so they have to.
I mean, they just go for the steal.
This really narrow corner of the jungle where they're also.
Hey, they literally have nothing to lose. Just fight.
Yeah, Spica is looking like he's ready to fight. They're going to try to funnel in. There's between worlds.
Oh, that's really good, actually. What the? Oh, that combo!
But it hasn't taken down Jensen.
Look, in the back is.
Putting back some damage as well, and it's Licorice in the back line on the other side. Tactical flash.
We're gonna play it slow and kill him. Oh yeah, Sterex, Jesus.
Trying to turn it back onto Castle. He goes all out,
Slow,
but he
slow.
delivers
Oh!
into Jensen. Licorice gets the kill. Armeo going back in.
I mean, that's pain.
Health bars just won't go down as Licorice
Oh, that's
gets
pain.
there
I
to
kind of feel
safety.
bad for
Another kill. Goes to
Immortals
Dig.
there.
They take the
It's like
fight.
Riot
This
wants
was
to
a
lose.
really scrappy one, but the positioning made all the difference for Dignitas.
It really did. That's such a difficult approach to the Drake pit. If you cannot approach through either the mid or the bot lane, it's so tight.
Miles
And
is
Zealot
useless
actually
every game,
almost
man.
pulled it off because
I
Rock
was
is
comparing
using the
Inspired to
Aurora
him.
Ultimate
He's the only
with
person
the
I've seen play
layer
really
of
like that.
MF ult over
He actually
the
missed
top.
every ability.
The start of this fight actually
Cool.
looks really good. They also, if that Bardolph landed a fraction earlier, Sven got his Zigzalt off at the very start,
Bad.
and then Licorice flanks and takes
That
Tactical
still
out
look
of the fight.
good.
I think at this point, if Immortals just resets, maybe they're going to be able to base, but because Tactical at the top is so low,
What's weird?
when Castle re-engages, Tactical really just
Oh wow,
can't
that
contribute.
W
So
misses on Zin.
extra
Then he
re-engage
flashes
there
and
by
dies.
Armeo adds some insult to injury, and that's the fight. That's the fight that Dignitas needed to win.
Absolutely, that was huge. I mean, Tactical flashed out of the wall with almost no health, was trying to heal up off the minions with his BT, but couldn't really re-enter the fight, as you say, and Sven was untouched pretty much throughout all of it. Licorice was shockingly tanky there, as clearly Immortals trying to defend this. We'll see if the Tempered Fate is actually even available. Are they going to look for the chase down? Jensen is here, as is Isles. The Crescent Guard's popped there by Armeo, as he wants to keep the fight going, but can't quite do so. And now the Nature's Grass going to get popped here from Spica. He's trying to go in. Nice buffer there, though, from Castle, and he's going to be able to Bard Portal out to safety. Well handled on the disengage there by Dig. Or excuse me, by Immortals.
Ultimate Bard teamwork right there. And then Cassante immuning the Maokai ultimate. He's going to be out in ultimate. And no objective is there. Although he's got to have a pretty low cooldown on that ultimate at this point as well. For the
Sorry, I'm laughing at this guy in
yeah,
Twitch
it's
shit.
only, 67
This
seconds
guy
cooldown
is
out of that.
convinced I got banned
it's
on
worth
chess.com
making
for
the
cheating.
enemy reset.
That's why I haven't played in 4
Yeah, just
months.
gives them even
So he's
more control,
1
and
man
he has
spamming it
still,
in chat.
25 minutes in, kept that
Some
2-1
wild
up,
shit.
so
People
he's been able to
here
maintain
in
that
TYLER1's
area
fans
safety.
deserve
Things
to
are
know
playing pretty
that he
heavily
was
around
cheating
this
on
area,
chess.
trying to threaten
Just
them.
letting y'all know
Tactics
that's
moving
why
down
TYLER
to
hasn't
the
played in
spot.
about 3 months
Armeo
because
is there as well.
chess.com
Doesn't
isn't
wanna
letting him
show
play
multiple
games.
members
But they let
because
him log
it
on,
could
only hits a
trigger
shadow
Dignitas
ban.
start on the Baron.
People have the right to know
Immortals in a tough spot.
that he was
That's
banned
what
for
I'm
cheating.
saying.
You had people thinking you were some kind of genius. Like, he's been going on every single one of his messages.
Just blowing his whole cooldown.
Bro,
bar and
I have not
reminded me
played
of.
because I had a child, a
when
baby. And
80
chess
carry
takes
players
full
play
mental
mages,
focus.
And when mages play 80 carries, the way
That is
they
why
play
I'm not
teamfights,
playing,
I feel like
man.
is more hardwired. So I feel like Sven, compared to a mid lane Ziggs player, is just going to throw out all his cooldowns for max DPS.
Oh, Jensen potentially in trouble. Does have to jump over the wall.
Then he
Yeah,
responds
I
to me and
think
says,
it's just,
haha,
you know, they have kind of
don't
different
kill the
stylistic
messenger.
tendencies that
He's
they'll
shadow
play
banned because
differently.
he's a popular
Oh,
streamer,
coming in,
but
though,
he
getting
indeed
red
can't
line,
play games
and
on
the
there.
depth charge, mask
No
locked down,
way.
but does survive, or
Ignite,
does he?
ignite.
The ignite not
let
quite
me
enough
focus
to
up. This
take
guy's
him
stun
down,
locked
nor
me.
was the Leandri's burn that
This
I think
guy's
was on
stun
there
locked
from
me.
Sven. So Mask limps out of that one, but again, he was forced to reset by Sven, comes back, forced to reset once more.
Yeah, he's just taking so much poke, has no magic resist, so Sven's just destroying him with poke at this point. But yeah, to finish the point, Sven is going to kind of max DPS on Ziggs, and then I think Jensen's going to bide his time a little bit more than a traditional Zeri player. It's going to balance out since they have kind of both of them, but it's something that
Let
is...
me focus up. Let me focus up. This
I've
guy's
just noticed
logs
it
are
across the years
crazy.
whenever you see 80 carry players play mages and mages play 80 carries.
I think it's one of the things that also is making it so impressive when you have players who can play both at an incredibly high level, right? When you can really adapt to the playstyle that is required. I mean, that's one of the things that
People
people
have the right
always
to
credit
know.
Faker
Bro,
with, because he has been so meta-proof over the last decade plus that he's dominated in competition, whether it's a tank, whether it's an enchanter, whether it's an AD, you know? That kind of thing, I think, is really hard to do because you have these tendencies that are so built in from playing a control mage or from playing a specific style. And being able to change that to fit what you need in the game is really tough.
Really is. Licorice recovered pretty well in this game despite getting solo killed twice with the way they played sidelines. He's actually up in CS now.
Tactical's here. I don't think Licorice realizes it. Spica's coming in as well, but Licorice is getting burst down fast. They're going to be low on damage.
Ooh, wait, that was actually 5 head.
From downtown.
Wait, he queued them into
Tactical is gone. Castle is gone.
Ziggs
and Licorice stands atop their corpses.
Spica past Tactical into the center of the Ziggs ult with his Maokai Q. That was awesome to look at. It appeared as if Licorice was getting baited with tactical, but no, it was the Ziggs from the mid lane comboed with Spica, so he roots him here.
They did that on purpose.
And then bloop right into the sweet spot.
And then they at least kill
Licorice to finish him off with the empowered Q.
That is the perfect alley-oop there. Yeah, it was looking rough because so much damage was getting put down on Licorice. I thought he was going to die, and then Spica would just be left alone, not having enough damage to out-damage this Bloodthirster, but it definitely did not account for how much
it's fine because everybody has flash
coming
up
down from mid lane was very quick to move
for this next dragon fight. They're now down 4,000 gold.
Where Immortals is trying to approach this potential soul.
I mean, MF ult is a game changer, but I think Ziggs just drops the bomb on top of her. Okay, Spica just ran it. Okay, flash down.
A little bit overzealous on trying to start out that play again. This is what happened last time. We were fighting around this tri-brush. The positioning is so important.
Ziggs, Maokai completely blocked that spot.
They're looking for Licorice, though. Licorice forced to pop the Dominus. He's trying to run out of there, but he is already very low. Does have his teleport to rejoin. The Nature's Grass says pop, but in goes Isles.
Oh my God,
the Ziggs ulti across.
MF is a zoning ult. That's actually not bad.
Time, baby. Tactical lets it rip. Softening up so many members. The Dig
play it slow. Castle Straw's ult. It's winnable.
Where they can still win this fight.
Yep, stop copying me. Copy their own words, bro.
But now the Ziggs bomb starting to take their toll. Isles hooks in. It was a great
buffer, though, as
now Spica going back in Armao.
Well played, Greg.
Caught out and he's got no
Armao! Lamau!
The chase is on for Dignitas. They wipe out the jungler. They wipe out the mid laner. They're going to claim the dragon.
Lamau, bro!
Control of this game as Jensen and Sven are online.
I'll queue up a game and then leave on stream later. After this game, I'm not
up first. The
shadow
Ziggs
ban
stuff that he can just put on the ground, and the Maokai saplings are making it so incredibly difficult for Immortals to make any sort of engage. And then also Mask, bless him for playing the Aurora, but he's getting picked off too many times. He's not making good effect of this Aurora ultimate. He is not the one able to engage and is in fact the one getting picked frequently.
Yeah, he's
I mean, now they're just playing for fun.
That pink ward, unfortunately, doesn't
I still think there's a world where they can win a fight. I think now the problem's actually Renekton, which is annoying because for Castle, he solo killed him twice, and he's annoying.
The laning phase, honestly, is quite easy. I think it's a really strong laning champion, but if you misplay in these fights, especially if you're not on Zhonya's, you know, you go in at the wrong time, you get stunned up, you are squishy. Yes, you have a lot of mobility, you have the invisibility, but if you misposition, you can get burst down in a hurry.
They're in such a difficult spot at the moment. Really just hoping that Baron doesn't get snuck on them and wait until
if they find a way to kill Renekton, they can play the game. Wait, why doesn't Cassante? No, because it's too outrange. Minefield. I was going to say, why doesn't Cassante just ult Renekton the fuck away?
I mean, if they do land one nice Bard ultimate, they could still
and then
break
they can
this
play.
game open, and their pick potential is
not
still really high with the burst from Aurora.
Yeah, they do have this nice combo, you know, with the bullet time, with the Aurora.
Got vision, they cleared vision.
To find that. Castle still very tanky as well, but time of the
what the f are we doing?
Nothing but air there. A swing and a miss, unfortunately, for Castle. The ulti nicely absorbed by the Locket, so not too much damage done.
I mean, that's why
there you go. That's value.
That was like 3,000
only ult Ziggs. Like right here, if he had vision, he could ult Ziggs.
That's a tool tip.
Probably catch him mid-satchel charge, and then Ziggs out to flash.
That blocks so much damage. He's blocked 4,000 damage this game with it. I wonder
Sunday 3-0, by the way. I said it earlier. I can't remember the last time I seen Cassante win.
So that one press, he's going to feel good about that. Otherwise, it doesn't matter.
Yep, pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
That's the other locket.
Yeah, so
that's the inferior
Isles
locket,
has
observers.
Less.
This is a good locket.
Isles locketed less the whole game, half as much as Ole locketed in a split second.
Yeah, come on. What are you doing?
That locket value is crazy.
Gap. Who cares if they're on a 10-game losing streak?
Yeah, who cares? As long as you beat your role, you know?
Speaking of which,
well, Roman pretty much wins every game.
There is history.
I don't see it. Maybe I'm scarred from
in the last 3 years, when Immortals is directly eliminated from playoff contention, they're undefeated. This could be their first loss in the last 3 years. The game after they've been eliminated from playoffs. I know that's a mouthful, but it is historic.
It is historic. It's not necessarily important history, but it is history, nonetheless.
And I really want them to win so that we can run the next stat as well.
Is it better Pig and Renekton than Cassante?
Like
not everybody plays Poppy. I think Poppy's so good.
Yeah, they are looking pretty dominant right now. Tactical, the only one actually in the area. No one else from Immortals is even over here. Now they get the bad news that they may be too late.
It's way too late. I think he made it. He did it Satchel.
He's not going to get in range. The nature's
look for the fight on Renekton. Get his GA. Get his GA. Get his GA. Get his GA.
They may try to find a fight here.
You're not going to win later.
But I think it would be ill-advised as they are pretty split. So Dignitas pulls off the heist. Tier 1 tower still alive.
Yeah.
And the Baron is theirs.
This game, I feel like, encapsulates the difference between a stage team and a scrim team. And we heard so many rumors throughout the entire split about how bad Dignitas was in scrims, but because of the collective experience of this roster, they know how to grind out wins on stage. They are not making
years
mistakes.
Of experience would you say they had?
If I could figure it out. I figured it out. I would say it's about 45.
Okay, 45.
I'm just guessing.
So not quite 200.
We might have time to do the math. You never know with how they only have 2 Drakes. So they might get all the way to the Hextech Soul if they don't make something happen with this Baron.
Guys,
you know what? If I'm Immortals, I still am coping and feel like, hey, you could get Hextech Soul, and maybe you could get back into this.
I think everybody feels sorry for Immortals.
I think it's going to be really hard for them to do that, but
it's one fight.
Hextech Soul is so powerful. If you can take that away, it really could change the course of this game. But Dignitas setting up the siege here might just let the Maokai ultimate rip if they want to try to create some space. The ulti connects, but it's
if they
only
hits
on
in,
the
there we
Maokai.
go.
Maokai drops his ulti as well, and the Ziggs ult this time not locking it. Oled's got a flash.
Not a bad ult. If MF can get ult off.
Down here's the bullet.
That was not bad. The Sunday's coming. They're all dangerously low. This could be it. One down.
Mask gets the kill. How much of a chase can we pull off? Mask
One's
is trying
not
to
enough.
come, but he gets poked away by Sven, pushed back.
They're going to try to re-engage
here? This is so important. Drake is up in 2 seconds, so if they can get a couple more picks, they'll get the soul.
Yeah,
okay, wait, get his GA, get his GA!
In the middle of everybody.
Oh my god, they get his GA!
As Castle's trying to interrupt the teleport, he's not getting out of
there. They kill him!
He loses the GA, he loses his ult, and he might just die again.
Jensen's pushing mid as well. He's trying to take inhibitors while it's happening. It's chaos.
Somebody has to back.
Absolute chaos. Jensen working on that, but
I think Renekton TP's friend as well.
Are they just going to commit to this and actually
they are. Watch this.
Renekton goes mid here. Right here, right now. It's up to Speak, it's up to Sven, because it's a base race, but now Mask is respawned.
He's not TPing at all?
Immortals are going to be able to get it.
No!
He stole it! Sven steals away the Hextech Soul
Get
with the ulti!
Mao off the fucking stage!
Coming back, Jensen's cut off on the other side. Castle's winning a fight in the side. He takes down Sven. Jensen falls.
His smite was down.
And the fight is just absolute chaos. Castle looks like he's gonna win in the 1v2, but Spica flashes out.
When I looked at his smite, it was up, but maybe it was down.
Isles is there, taking no chances, pops the ulti, but misses the hook. And Castle walks out of a crazy fight. I cannot believe
maybe it was down.
How close that got. It went down to 6 HP. I think it was taken by a Leandri's tick from Sven, but I want to see that one more time.
I did see it at 6. I have no idea.
Why the fuck is he smiting anything else before Soul? Because whatever. Killing Renekton's big. Like, I know Ziggs ult does massive damage. So maybe
it wasn't a Comet, because the Comet comes
maybe it did too much damage. But even if that was the case, he could have still got the smite off.
I'm going to slow-mo this and figure this out.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll give us a replay on that, because that was nuts. Okay, here we go. Here's the replay.
Okay, what happens?
One more time. As this was getting down incredibly low. Down to 1,800,
yeah.
1,300.
That's hard. Okay, there was a window.
It must have been the Leandris.
I think
there was a window.
Unless the E ticked on it as well, it's really hard to tell, but I do
that,
think it was Leandris.
That's pretty hard, because the smite does 1,200. It was at 1,300, 1276.
Well, it's actually kind of impossible from
it was at 6 for a split point, whatever second.
And if he smites before the ult lands, he's guaranteeing that the ult takes it.
Yep.
Unless he
so, you know what?
has
I apologize.
a spell
that's
on
pretty hard.
To burst it from 1350.
Yeah, you'd need to, W smite or something like that to try to get it from above, but that is tough. And then, I mean, all chaos broke out as it was this.
Well, you would execute it. You would combo your damage, but I think they did max. They were rushing it. They did max damage they could.
You know, Castle was able to pull off a 1v2 against Spica and Sven, killed him off, nearly got the second kill. Jensen was going for what could have potentially been a game ender, but then they collapse and they kill off him, and the game will continue. Immortals getting a little bit closer off that. They still are going to have another crack at this soul, but the next time, someone is going to get it. So this next Dragon fight is going to be
Dragon, it's been a while.
That was definitely the closest they've been to soul of all 3 of their tries, by far.
Mathematically, yes.
Yeah, it gave them a little bit of extra gold as well from that whole fight, but they did lose their mid inhibitor. At the very least, I'd say,
why is it allowed to do that much damage?
Of just
Dude, mages bot lane are so broken.
Running in with Aurora ult,
it's not just it. It's all mages bot are broken.
Letting the MF
Statistically speaking, they are game breaking.
It's going to be a little bit less effective if they do it.
They are.
Because Sven has stopwatch now, so he can just immune a lot of it. They also have double locket on the team, so even though 2 lockets are not perfectly synergistic,
he misses that.
Extra
Flashes down.
His hook there as well, so not going to find an easy way out. We'll see if he can kidnap by Castle.
Just ultimate. Oh, he's going for Ziggs. He gets flash. Oh my God, it's a good fight.
Tactical looking for an angle to find the ulti.
Okay, they kill 2. Licorice G's down.
Even popping it.
Drifted has to hold this way by himself. Wait, is Immortals going to win?
20 seconds, so that's what they're
No, they're going to say go Baron.
Okay,
but they're losing. They're getting shit on it in macro.
And that's a full item Zeri. These turrets are not going to last long. No one can really stand and fight him. So Armeo, he wants to speed up time for
They're going to do this Baron so slow.
Right now. Jensen's getting this inhibitor.
Oh shit, wait, he's doing a lot of damage.
But Mask did about 2/3 of his health with 1 QE, and Mask is now looking for more. Immortals, though, on the other side are back on the Baron.
Is Jensen TP to this?
We'll
this is slow as shit.
Is going to be able to actually get over there and try to challenge this Baron. It doesn't look like there's going to be any chance of it. So Immortals have been able to grab themselves a Baron. They'll maintain map control, and they'll be able to go into this next Dragon here in a position of power. It's the gold lead is really going to
here we go again. Souls in a minute.
Yeah, this game is absolutely incredible. So there's 2 waves of super minions that Immortals need to fight through in order to make it to this Hextech Drake.
But it's bot and hip, so that is good.
Like,
bot and hip's gone, so they can push out, go up river.
Keeps them in this game. Dignitas is pulling off some amazing stuff. The fact that they denied the soul with that Ziggs ultimate, this next fight is likely going to decide.
I mean, the supernatural power so far this game has been called Castle. He has been really, really good for Immortals so far this game. 3 solo kills. I think 4 even if you count the Sven one in the 1v2. I don't think anyone else had a tag.
All right, here we go.
Dignitas here first, though. 15 seconds
okay,
until
so they are going bot and upriver. I'm so smart.
Full item Mask.
Do have Castle in mid as well.
Excuse me, Reckon's GA is up.
Spica, but it looks like for now, going to look for the ulti. Doesn't connect. Nice satchel charge out to
no
safety by Sven. But Immortals at the very least have positioning here now on the Dragon.
Dig really want to poke and avoid getting hard engaged on. Licorice might be caught out. But even if Immortals starts this Drake, I think Dignitas is okay because they'd rather be the ones engaging.
Gotta get Malkyle without dying.
A nice front to back.
Yeah, we'll see though, because they can't actually force them.
They gotta go. They gotta go.
Licorice is coming around the side. This Dragon is going down pretty quick now. Both teams pausing. And there's the Nature's Grasp going in.
It's down to 4K.
It's down to 5K between 2 worlds.
Weird. This is weird.
Only catches Isles.
Of the swipe. Okay, he got it. He got it. He actually got it.
And Armeo gets the Dragon. Will it make the difference?
Castle's on
trouble on the other side. Castle's in on top of him. Can he make it happen in the 1v3? He can.
Oh, he got him.
He can. He got Jensen.
Oh!
On the other side, bullet time goes, and it takes down another. Sven's
They're dead.
He's got nowhere to go.
Immortals breaks the 10-game losing streak. My predictions are fucked.
Everyone is Castle looking for Spica, looking for Isles. They're going to try to end the game. They're marching down mid-jet.
I think they've done it. That's an MF full build, killing these turrets. That's a support and jungler running away.
It's over.
Immortals is going to move to 5-0 after being eliminated from playoffs. They are unstoppable, Azale.
Dude, I wanted to pick Immortals so bad. Am I stupid? I'm so stupid.
Looked like they were taking control, but Immortals refuse to give up. And in the critical fight, they make it happen. And they're going to take down Dignitas in game number 1.
I'm not
They're going to
rooting
start
for
off this final week
ever.
right. They are going to break their 10-game losing streak and try to end the season how they started it. We'll see if they can get that 2-0.
Take notes. That's how it's done.
Nobody
on the misfortune,
beats Immortals 11 times. 11 times in a row.
Cassante, and that 1v3 in the final fight after Armeo secured the soul ended up sealing the deal. And all jokes aside, these Immortals players, they're also playing for contracts in the future. Like, it has not been a great split. Every one of these players wants to end the split on a positive note. So even if the standings say they have nothing to play for, they have plenty to play for.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations to all of you at home who are headed for a first place finish in Fantasy LCS on Sleeper. For those of you who don't make it to the winner's circle, come back next split for a shot at redemption.
Oh, for sure.
Now, let's head on over to the LCS Lounge to break that one down.
Oh, for sure. Nice.
Welcome
Bro.
back, Immortals.
Okay, for this guy that's saying I'm banned on chess.com, no, I'm not, man. I am not banned. My account still works. Everything still works. I have a life. I'm a father. I can queue up. Right? I can queue up. I'm not going to. See, I can press play. See, I can play, bro. All right? Stop the allegations. It's not a bot.
I'm gonna win this game by myself or die trying.
Well, we saw it in a lot of these team fights too. Like even in the team fights, they lost. Castle is like on the flank, trying to get someone on the backside of every single
You're
one of these
still
fights
a cheater at chess regardless, this guy says.
This is the fight where you see
I'm not a cheater, bro. I'm just better than you.
They still end up losing because Licorice is actually able to get around through the backline onto Tactical.
Yeah, Sven was completely safe on the top side of Aurora ulti with stopwatch, and Renekton gets the flank. So I'm like, now we've seen two instances of this combo trying to work, with one that happened through mid lane turret and Aurora flashing out of her own ulti. And then I was like, oh, are we never going to see it really be successful for IMT? Thankfully, by the end, we ended up seeing some good ones.
Yeah, but this was maybe the greatest Maokai Q of all time. Just knocks him back into the middle of the sweet spot. That does so much more damage. And this is the part of the game where you think that Dignitas just can't
lose. This guy's logs.
Like their group team fight is just too strong. Looks like every single time anything
goes
to the side lane, they're
winning.
But what I will credit with
playing official mid-A rated over the board chess tournament, TYLER1.
Like there was
kept
something
spamming it, kept spamming it, kept spamming it.
Yeah, so they just kept throwing it out there.
Here's a non-softball question, TYLER1. What do you have to say to the haters who think you're a cheater on chess.com?
And start to turn the game around in their favor.
Yeah, and even being able to see Cassante on flank, I just felt like Cassante in these fights knew exactly what his role was. This is for sure just, we're talking about contract games. This is just a contract game of history for Castle of how he performed in these fights.
TYLER1, order on the campfire is that you're not 100% clean chess player on chess.com. What do you have to say about that?
The final fight, where I actually thought it was a little doomed at first, especially with the fact that Liquid was able to
This was 3 months ago, by the way.
And then watch Castle on the top of your screen.
I mean, call it what it is. This is just a straight-up 1v3. The guy is genuinely 1v3ing 3 champions, one of them being in 80 carry with
his career would take a huge hit if his cheating on chess.com
just ignores all of Nautilus's and Maokai's CC to be able to continually chase down the most mobile 80 carry in the game.
Bring back the Showmaker copy pasta.
He's sneezing from across the ocean right now. He can feel it in his bones.
But yeah, genuinely insanely well played from Castle. And this is what I meant. There is something to this Immortals team. These solo laners are genuinely classy players.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can actually
Yo, Infuriator Irelia, are you here, bro?
Earlier in the day, we asked you to show off your LCS.
What is this guy doing?
On X, answered the call. So keep
oh my god, this guy is trolling.
Coming back after the break.
You kept messaging this guy. You're probably gonna look dumb. I got your username here. Yeah, you have his username.
Hell yeah.
Stream some chess.
The player will be given a Twitch emote to act out, and the others must guess what emote it is, even the person acting it out. Simple enough. Look the Twitch emote charades.
Wait, do it again.
I don't have better fish.
Oh,
wow.
There were.
So,
you should make.
What is going on?
What is that? What is that?
I don't know how to
what are you doing? Kappa.
Well, it definitely looks like TYLER1 is legit in this game, at least. I don't understand this. Oh, he's talking about League. I must have made a bad play. He takes a 2-month break. He came back on 8-1.
Red Bull gives you wings.
He's still typing. You're still a cheater. You're a cheat, dude. You're a terrible liar. I was so bad at lying. Alright, bro. Alright, you gotta go, bro. You're lying. You're the liar. You're stun locking me with your stupidity, actually. I can't focus on the games at hand with your stun lock. Ugh. Play a chess game on stream? No, I don't want to lose my rating. But I'm not banned. How's that sus? I haven't played a game in 4 months. I'd have to practice again to get good again. Or to be at that level. I would lose a lot. I don't want to lose my rating. He is actually kind of sus. No, I'm not. Stop looking at me like that, you freak. Play a bullet? I played a lot of bullet, but no, bullet's bad practice. I played bullet. I think it helped with our time a lot, but no. You played 10-minute rapid, bullet's boring. Do you have been anxious, worried that your lies have finally caught up to you? We just watched FlyQuest C9. By watched, I mean you guys watched it while I was DC'd. What's Dig's record? 2-4. Favorite LCS team? I'm not sure I have one. Thank you, Corn. I'd say there's good.
I've been playing in LCS for like since 2017, and actually I play for Team Liquid, Immortals, Golden Guardians, and the Dignitas. So
oh my god, you play for every team, LA?
Half of team, but it's like I have met like so many people here, and then I just love to be here with them.
I gotta say, Ole is one of the most genuinely nice people.
I mean, I actually like Ole. He try hard.
Yes, he is
He's
so friendly.
Like
every
try
time
hard
I
in
run into
general.
him.
He plays so many
Does definitely
solo
have
games
that
as well.
Genuine love and passion for the game, which I think really comes out.
I mean, absolutely. For those of you who don't know as well, just the fact that he left professional league for 2 years, doing his mandatory military service in Korea, and then managed to get rank 1 on the ladder after that and rejoin the professional ecosystem is an incredible accomplishment in itself.
Yeah, it's honestly really impressive.
All right,
He's
I
one
didn't
of the
play
best
ads
solo
last
out
game
there
because I was tilted from the DC,
really
so I had to play it now. I'm sorry.
Dignitas obviously falling to Immortals in game number 1. Immortals, they were on a 10-game losing streak, a 5 straight series losing streak.
All right, what are we doing here? I think the teams are both sweating now, by the way. I think Immortals wants to win this series now. So they're going Renekton.
So good in that game number 1.
Sejuani.
No
4 fronts over, by the way.
Here, but he takes the Renekton
up. Now they're trying too hard, so they're going to lose.
Solo killed Licorice's Renekton twice.
Guys, you can't try that hard, man.
Of the champions.
Play your own game. Not do this. They did go Azir, but I'd imagine they're probably it's because they're playing Azir.
The Aurora, even though it wasn't effective early in the game, it was definitely strong in those final fights.
Yeah, it was really annoying throwing down between worlds, and then the bullet time would come over top. You know, if you don't have a flash, it's really nothing you can do to get out of there. So they were struggling to answer that. And it was pretty powerful. What season is it? Remains to be seen. Will it be Dig season here?
Okay, well, what should happen now is Dig should try because they're embarrassed.
More bans coming through. Rel going to get banned out, so another support ban targeting Isles. Kais has been banned out by Dig. Now, they do have the Zeri, which we're assuming is going to Jensen, but it could be kind of a similar draft.
Let's go to Jensen. He spams the shit out of it.
It is the Rakan ban instead that's going to go through. So I would expect Immortals to just pick support on 4 and try to further narrow that support pool.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. I would also say we have a rare control mage mid sighting.
What are those?
Yeah, Azir. It's new and fresh.
He can't
never seen this before.
Why would I want that?
Where's the Blade of the Ruin King Rush on Azir? Can he build a Cull?
Well, he could. Does he want to win?
All right.
Don't give him ideas, Zell.
Gonna go MF again?
Yeah, we'll find out. Double 80 carry ban there for Dig. So I feel like with double 80 carry ban, they might just be going Ziggs again, honestly. You have Zeri mid. You have an AP jungle,
not
you
go
have an AD
6
top,
again.
fit in pretty well. A lot of AD options still available. We saw the MF. I think the MF was because of that pairing alongside the Aurora more so.
MF has expected.
It just does come out again.
They're actually doing like full sweat now.
That's
kind of cringe.
Getting a decent amount of play over in the LPL and never really picked up in the LCS. And it's also a pick that I know Tactical has favored in the past. He really enjoys playing the champion. So when they want to pair it with Bard again, and Bard is unbanned here, I'm not shocked if they just go MF Bard at the very end of this draft.
Yeah, it is really interesting.
Oh,
right?
you want to go Zeri bot Porky mid.
With the 20 and the Renekton, and I don't think it's as good as the
it's not the
Worlds
same
combo. And it's so interesting when you talk to ADs about MF, because some people will swear to you that's a really strong champion.
Yeah.
Other ADs in the LCS will tell you that it's absolutely useless. There's no way you can play it. It's complete garbage. People are very opinionated on basically no dash champs and if they are viable or not. So Tactical did get the win in game number 1. We'll see if he can do it in back-to-back games. Would be cool.
I'm kind of like
can get that done. I mean, they started the season with a bang. They
I'm 100% rooting for Immortals to lose now just because they went full sweat.
Yeah.
But if it would be funny if they could.
Okay, Olay went Thresh. I respect Olay. He went Bard Thresh. His 2 champions. I love it, Olay. Good job, bro. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Olay.
But it is something that
Let's
he
go.
has had so much success on. Back
His
when
2 best champs. Let's go, Olay.
Immortals iteration. I can remember him playing this on Immortals in 2017 all the way to the LCS finals.
Like people trying in LCS, so brother, this game means nothing. It's side selection for Dig. Immortals literally gets nothing. For last, no matter what, their playoffs are over. They're playing for pride. You have no pride. You lost 10 games in a row. The talking point they keep making is, oh, they're playing so that the other teams around the league can see how good they are and sign them to a contract next year.
It is, of course, going to be Zeri Bot.
Who is getting a contract on Immortals?
Of that swap last time.
2 LCS teams are gone. The other teams already had everything. It's either Castle
that Zeri, and it is going to be Jensen on the Corki mid, so
or
carry,
Olay maybe. That's it.
Standard stuff. On the other side, it's similar, but it is a control mage and the 180 carry. It's kind of obviously less consistent damage from the MF. It's more about those spells, more about setting up the ultimate. So we'll see how they're going to be able to manage that.
It's a very old school team comp.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much Castle.
If we were to take the release dates of all of these champions, man, I feel like they've all been in the game for almost 10 years. This is an insanely old school comp on the Immortals timeline here.
Are you saying it's going to be a release date diff?
Oh boy, that's an interesting.
Cuzzo's young with another job, yeah, but what top laner?
Dignitas has got the older players
Impact
with the more
gone.
modern champions.
Yeah. Turns out you can teach
is
or maybe not.
Whippo gone?
Yeah, one thing that we hit on last
whatever,
game
you could argue that, but Surdy is waiting in Academy.
Because I'm a big fan of statistics.
Is Thotiana gone?
Even though Immortals is now 5-0 directly after playoff elimination,
is NRG staying?
Also 0-4 after the game after playoff elimination. So They need to break this streak
Not to
now.
be confused
I don't
with
know
the
if
game
Energy's
after playoff
staying.
elimination. This is now the
He
game
said it was
after
100
the
Thieves
game after
and
the
Immortals are
playoff
leaving.
elimination.
Correct.
That's
They've never
Dokla.
won that game.
They've never won that game, which is this game.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Licorice.
So now,
One
looking
more.
to
The
make
hair is
history
Last
once
G
again.
Snipes.
It's
No,
like-
but 100 Thieves might leave.
Do you
I
remember
don't know.
Dragon Ball Z Super Saiyan 3? Mm-hmm. The one that tires you out a lot? I feel like that's what they
Talking
had
about
in
Super
Game
Saiyan?
1.
Oh, so now they're exhausted.
Now they're exhausted, back to
Need some,
normal
like, what are
hair.
they, the
Exactly,
Senju
actually.
or
And they're much
True.
weaker
You
at
made
the
a good
moment. They
point.
need to recover a bit.
They
Oh,
just
man,
went
it's just a
Super
bunch of
Saiyan that
Krillins
last
out there.
game.
Yeah, maybe.
That's terrible.
They used all their
We'll
energy.
see if
Now they're
history
back to
repeats itself
base
in
base
game
We'll
form.
find out. We'll find
But
out. All right, well,
it
you can
could
see
be
Dignitas
like when
initiating the
Goku
lane swap here. Isles
fought
is then
Beerus
heading up towards top.
as
Not
Super
gonna find
Saiyan
Omega
God.
starting on there. Ole
And
looking
yes,
for
he
an
lost
advantage
his form,
himself.
but
We'll find the bad news or good news. depending on
everything
the
he had
position,
learned
but
in that
at the very
form
least,
stayed
they'll know
inside
what
him
is going on.
despite
They'll know
him
that it's
losing
lane
his
swap.
Saiyan
Castle
form.
is sitting up in that top lane, going to be trying to soak as much experience as possible, but he is spotted.
Yeah.
Is what I would say if I knew what I was talking about, but I don't watch cartoons. I'm a grown ass. I'm a father.
Really just kind of
I'm a father.
A man on a mission.
I don't watch
trying to
children's
lane
cartoons.
swaps.
Yeah, it looks like he got 1 minion of XP, so he
Ooh,
definitely
in a
would've
lane
preferred to
swap,
get a little bit more.
brother.
Tracking on the bottom side as well. Licorice also getting 1 minion of XP. Junglers a lot of times would like to path up so they can dive when this turret crashes, so you always have to wait and see how quickly the top laner just
We're
completely
really sweating this
abandons
game, huh?
his post, which is what Castle has done right now, knowing that he didn't get level 2 and knowing that he also got chunked out.
Something also that is pretty interesting to talk about, we talk about playoffs, we talk about experience. This is the LCS most playoff appearances all time.
Dude, it feels like
Leaderboard.
Bjergsen's been out of the
Jensen
league
is
for like
in
10
there,
years, by the
soon to
way.
be 15 on that leaderboard. Sven obviously has tremendous amounts of experience. Speak has been around for a long time. Licorice has been around for a long time. They just have so much experience.
Even Afro
especially
move. It feels
experience
like
in
Afro
big
has been out of
games
the
and big
out of the league for
moments,
like 5
even
years.
though they have not
Like,
performed
what,
to the levels that they
split?
wanted to in the regular season, I think they're not to be counted out come playoff time. These players know what it takes to make it happen in big games.
Absolutely. Playoffs is going to be the great equalizer. And just a reminder for the viewers here.
We'll be there.
Dignitas is
We'll be
already
co-streaming
first
playoffs.
They already know their first round playoff opponent. It's going to be 100 Thieves.
Ah!
So
He plays 100
the
Thieves?
result of this series will determine if they are the 4th or the 5th seed, which will then determine side selection in that series. We don't know yet exactly who their next opponent will be if they won that, but it's almost certainly Team Liquid because Team Liquid gets to choose their side of the bracket. So playoffs is absolutely the great equalizer. Even if they struggled a whole bunch during the regular season, if they win their first round of playoffs against 100 Thieves, then they would only need to beat Team Liquid to go to Worlds. So they'd be 2 best-of-5s away from Worlds at the start
Isles is
of that
flashing
series.
for that. Oh my god, that is annoying for Castle, but I guess it remains to be seen if it's worth. So basically that flash denies him the top wave. How much was there? I don't even know how many melees were there, so he's going to lose basically
That's
a full
slow
wave
push, and that's
probably,
fucked.
at the very
I
least.
hate
You have to
lane
kind of
swap.
make that decision. Is your flash worth denying that full wave?
And it makes the game so
Isles needs
confusing
call
to
that
track.
it is.
It's so
It's
confusing.
definitely annoying
See
for
who's
Castle.
actually
Whether
ahead.
it was a worthwhile play, I guess remains to be seen.
For sure, and Renekton Cassante, as Castle so quickly locked in that Renekton this draft, kind of hates this, even if you can get small 2 CS advantages.
Yeah,
on
I mean, we're not going to lose the
Cassante
counter
early.
matchup, are we?
You really want
Both
to be
sides
level
of that
6 on
matchup,
Renekton
are we,
as quickly as
Licorice?
possible, because if both Cassante and Renekton are behind, Cassante is stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we call them kind of those low eco champs. So this is the replay, I guess, when he enters.
Ban lane swaps, make it illegal? I mean, bro, they could actually do that. They could actually fix it like that if they wanted to. Guys, you're not allowed to swap lanes. Literally, one statement.
Pretty good, and you can see the wave is getting pushed in now to Licorice top, so he's going to collect as much of this as he possibly can. Should be able to create an experience advantage. And Jensen, pressing E and walking towards you. You've seen a lot of this if you've been watching competitive lately.
What, he wins? I think he wins.
Misses
It's
the
easy.
Q and now in trouble. Is going to have to Valk
Oh, he's
out of
greed
there.
walking. What the
Area as well. There's a potential for a W flash. Jensen has got to get out of there and fast.
He might want to
He gets
trade
the bad
flashes.
news. He's going to have to flash, and now W
Yuck.
flash is there to follow. And Armeo nails
He's been looking a
him.
bit
Jensen's
underwhelming.
down.
Nicely played there by Armeo. I think Jensen was hoping
Underwhelming.
that Armeo would do a Q flash to try and
Not
get
his
the
Zeri
instant
games.
kill, but
All
Armeo knew
split.
that he
Even
had
the
enough
games they
tools
won,
to get the kill no
I feel like
matter
they
what,
won
and was just
despite
patient,
him.
holding his flash for the W. But because of that wave that we saw earlier, Licorice a full level ahead of Castle now and able to have a really good chunk on Castle.
Nothing makes me more moist than seeing rookie players get shit on.
With the Intovo strikes, if he got the knockback, that's a potential flash that has to be forced there from Castle. So could have been bad. Hook does land, but it's on the thresh, and good buffer from Olay, lands a hook of his own, and Niles is in trouble. He has no flash, remember, because he
what is Lilia doing there?
Spica to back him up, will be able to push them back. Otherwise, that could have been a chase down.
That was a kill.
I do actually like the MF pairing with the thresh.
He loses this.
Another big trade in
what is he doing?
And Mask has been very good with some of these little dodges.
Wait, we don't fight that?
Previous play, dodging the Phosphorus Bomb with the dash forward made all the difference. And in this one as well, dodging on a lot of those rockets, taking these aggressive
pretty good W, but no flash.
Very impressive stuff there. With the MF versus Thresh, I think there's a number of reasons why Thresh is out of the meta. A lot of it's to do with his teamfight scaling. Just being
Bro, I think we just fight that. What do we have to lose, dude?
But also his all-in is weaker than it used to be as well. So normally Nautilus could be a counter pick.
You guys play on Korea. Don't these teams boot camp
and then
in
two,
Korea?
if you just proc your Aftershock, you're going to be able to win those trades. But Misfortune is just
in Korea, that's fought 10 out of 10 times.
Carry. I think he can help neutralize that weakness a little bit, and we saw it there where actually if Spica didn't arrive, that would have been a very successful, maybe even kill for Tactical and Olay.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think Olay played it really, really well.
Only the top teams?
You always want to buffer that hook when you can, as you say. Getting the Aftershock up is such
a
big deal.
They don't just play solo queue, they scrim Korean teams as well.
The entire hook that's coming through from Isles, you can't land that passive auto to follow it up, so do end up taking quite a bit of punishment there. Spica going to be able to grab those grubs on the top side, while meanwhile Armeo claims a dragon of his own. And we'll see what he can get done. Obviously grab that first blood, not exactly where you would want it, but still you can get out towards a fast Zeeks or whatever and try to, just kind of springboard yourself to a little bit of a faster start.
Oh wait, only the top LCS teams do that? Oh, because Korea teams don't want to scrim bottom tier LCS teams. That actually kind of makes sense.
The first Drake.
Because it's just like a waste of, there's nothing in it for them. I see.
Drake that goes over, but still completely in a position where Olay can find windows to try and make plays. Because I think that's the biggest thing that they need to accomplish in this early game is before Olay gets outscaled, roam around and make a lot of stuff happen.
Yeah, we'll see, what he's going to be able to make happen. The Lantern obviously has a lot of value as well. Can be pretty powerful. We know it's not going to be the best soul, but we also know it's not going to be the worst soul, as Chemtech is coming up next. So it is going to be a soul that people
Darius or
want.
Garen, don't worry.
It could be.
The GGG movement will take over the world, I promise.
So annoying.
True.
And Lilia, oh my god, I would not want to allow Dignitas to have that. That would be a very quick FF for me if I was playing against Cloud Soul.
I think Cloud Soul, I don't know how we got on the top of Cloud Soul, I apologize, but it's like the most sleeper OP soul. Because you're
Immortals
so
is
fast.
exactly. I love Dragon win cons.
When you check
don't see
analytics, so often move speed runes or high win rate or boots rushes had to be nerfed because the better you are, the more you can utilize small differences in move speed. And Cloud Soul gives you large differences in move speed. So I think it's a bit of an auto win.
Oh, there's the lightning crash coming down. Tactical in trouble, flashing in. They're trying to deny the Lantern, but he does pick it up. He flashes after, but the splash damage still coming through. They're trying to separate to deny more of it. It does require both the flashes, holds onto the barrier. But a nice engage there from Dig. If they were able to knock off the passive move speed, then just walk straight in, and he knows the dive could be coming. Sven getting really close to death there. Didn't want to use the flash. Holds on to it, but now it means he's actually has to base, and they've lost control of the wave off that bullet time that defended the dive and got a great trade.
Tactical found such a good angle for that
No, you got to push this in.
It does save them from what was a bad trade. It did pull both junglers down temporarily. Spica has a fine reset to move back to his blue buff, and Armeo taking his blue buff right now, but kind of well played by both sides. In the initial instance, it looked like
they lost all their
get a large
subs. I don't know if well played.
And then Tactical saves it with that bullet time.
And I want to see if Dignitas can really punish those missing flashes. As we can watch this.
Him walking up in the bush.
So all early by Sven.
I think it's
Tactical in a tough spot. I'd say that Lantern was pretty far forward, very dicey at the
Knowledge
time.
just does what he does.
We're back
except
to line, and Licorice is all out. The dominance has been possible. Can he hit the Q3 to knock him back? And he can. The bowling ball misses, though. As a result, he pulled him out of it. So Castle will be able to dash back to the turret as the Swirling Seed cannot connect there from Spica.
Narrow escape, and now Armeo is thinking about something. He has no ability to just straight up pull the Lilia, though, but he can control the crash.
Zeri is too safe.
Jensen is in base, and he has his Azir in the mid lane. Nice little punish there for the attempted gank, and Castle just TPs back and pushes the wave in.
Yep, and so far so good for the
He is too safe.
I'm not seeing nearly as many control mages these days, as it is really dominated by AD carries in this meta, but it is kind of just a farm fest. And he rushed straight to the Nashers, and that's already completed, whereas Corki, as we see these days,
no
boots,
he doesn't want to
very, very
reset.
standard.
Let
So
Castle
your first
cook.
game completion is going to be
Let
very
Castle
much delayed,
cook.
but we're in for a very close game. I mean, it's pretty much dead even, 16.5k on both sides. It is grubs for a dragon. This is about as close as it gets.
Yeah, I will say that Dignitas likely has a lot better scaling.
He's fine.
Oh, he didn't have ult, never mind.
Yeah, was not
True,
able to
and
just
she does
really
get every
pull him
single
into the
CS.
turret.
It's impossible. It's
yeah, I just feel like
it's kind of like
Refractor
Yasuo.
Nectin, Sejuani is going to have a hard
They have
time
so many
scaling
abilities
against
that are
Zeri Corki,
guaranteed
so
you
Immortal
CS.
need to make
Yasuo has
something happen
EQ.
fairly quickly. This next Drake that's going to spawn, I think they need to try and really hard commit to that. They may actually have to just give up these grubs, which could be a bit of a risk, but I think they have enough lane pressure that it's worth the trade for the Drake.
Yeah, we'll see. It is going to be Immortal starting it up, so they don't want Dignitas to be able to get 6 grubs. Isles is here, he spots them. Zeri moving over as well, and in comes Spica. So clearly, Dignitas doesn't want to just give this up. The double sleep does land. The hook is there to follow, and it's going to be an immediate flash out as the box is going to get dropped, but it's not going to create
that was a
any
really
space
good
for Immortals at all.
sleep.
The bot laner's missing both of their flashes. They are
Holy
just
shit, wait, that's a big
gone.
cook.
And meanwhile, Licorice is just fighting it out. 1v2
Oh, we're going to
in
game
the pit.
3. That's
Castle
exciting.
goes over the wall, but in comes Jensen. The Dominus gets popped. Do they have a flash to follow? Not just yet, but in goes Spica now. Watch
Pretty clean
out,
by Spica.
EP is down, and Armeo's going to have to flash back to the tower as well. As Spica will grab the grubs here off the back of that. There's one more remaining that they should be able to get. Jensen picks it up.
Oh my God,
They
they're
want
gonna
to try
kill
to
him
dark
as well?
Armeo. Jensen's going to shove this in. Sven is going to go back towards mid lane.
You're not gonna TP
and we'll
this?
see if they can pull off this dive. Isles needs to be the one to start it up. The hook doesn't hit, but he does
Was it let him
connect with
die?
that passive auto, and there's nowhere for Armeo.
Wait,
to go.
Azir could have saved
Nicely
him?
done from
Was it just not
Dignitas,
worth it? No, because he gets the
winning out
wave
pretty
too.
massively there.
Wait, no, that's for sure. Wait, Azir has the TP there, right?
For Dignitas, it's all started really by Spica. That's the dream.
Wait, he
really
hates
of
his
play
jungle.
When you're just kind of wasting these E's in the mid
Wait,
lane
he actually
to
hates
get
his
a
jungle.
double hit confirm onto the AD carry and support, and then start the entire sequence.
hook.
Beautifully done. Gives them a 2,000 gold lead when the game had been even.
Yeah, and punishing the double missing flash from that bot lane, right? They were sitting around mid, and Spica, this is one from very far away. They just walk right
That
into
was,
it,
dude,
and they get
that
this
is,
double
and they had no
sleep
assumption
to
of the bot
set it
fight.
up, and
That is
unfortunately, the positioning was not great for them
crazy.
as they do get hooked in right off of it.
Yeah, so just all around good communication by Dig, because Spica waited about as long as he could before pressing the R, which gives the Nautilus and the Zeri a little bit more time to move over. But Immortals is set up pretty well to take this second Drake.
Yeah, it looks like it's just going to be theirs. I don't think that
think it
Dignitas
matters,
is
no.
interested in fighting it just yet. Ole is around.
Unless Mask
Lucas obviously
pulls a
very low.
World
They have Jensen
Faker
up in top lane,
play.
pushing that out. So Dignitas is going to be able to give over those second dragons, but it does set up that potential opportunity that Immortals had last time, again, to be able to push towards Soul, as it is going to be a Mountain Dragon and a Mountain Soul that's on the table.
Another powerful Soul, especially if Dignitas
this is
able
this
to
is what we
actually
saved
come
TP
in
for.
and play. That's in his ear.
This is what we saved TP for.
In some trouble.
It's
Castle's
good.
popped the ult,
They
but
killed
he is on
two.
multiple levels, but now Mask arrives as well, and Mask is trying to take them
Nice
down.
flash.
Isles creating a lot of space with the
Oh,
double
shit, 'cause they're
passive
coming
roots.
upriver.
He's stepping forward trying to get him, but he can't just do
Ooh,
it.
that was-
But now in comes Sven with the lightning crash. Can he finish them
Oh,
off?
oh my God.
Isles is gone. Sven is pushed back.
Okay,
Mask
2
got
for
so
that.
much
Okay,
damage down there.
that's what we saved Flash for, or TP for.
0 for 2 as Mask and Castle connect to crush Dig.
Okay, boys.
Immortals is bringing it right back after losing that mid-engage. They've closed the gold lead to 400 and have the 2 Drake advantage. Let's watch this one more time. Castle's so far behind in this game, but really tries to make something happen. This is a level 9 Renekton. Hard engaging on the level 11 Corki. That's why it's unexpected from Jensen, but he does it because Mask is behind him. At the tail end of this
did
fight,
not mean
he
to do
also
that.
clutches it up. He's got full rage for that extra
Burns
hit
and
stun.
lives
He
and
might have even
almost
gotten
kills.
Powered Q at the tail end of that too. So they just clean that fight. Basically,
They're trying.
2
They're sweating,
4
actually.
In terms of the
Dig is
number of
100%
players that needs
sweating.
to be invested into that spot. Very nicely done.
Yeah, and Mask is going to get pretty strong now. You know, he already had that one completed item. He has the tier 2 boots, got another Faded Ashes in there, so he's going to be working towards another item. And
Oh my
now
God, they're
the
fighting
team
us?
coming in here from Immortals. Dignitas just has to run. Thanks
On
for
the flash, on the
leash,
flash.
And they're going to be able to grab
See,
that.
that's
and pick up
why.
the eye, but Dignitas
Just
trying
one shot
to
him, one
get
shot him,
back
one shot him,
in.
one shot him,
The
one shot him, one shot him, one
Dignitas
shot him.
Isles, he does buffer the hook to try to get out. Licorice coming in now. The Swirling Sea connects on multiple, and it's a 2-man sleep. What can they find?
Nautilus
They can find
dies
one
there, by
kill
the way.
on the Renekton, but it looks like that's going to be the end of it. So it is the Herald for a kill.
and it might even be that mid-turret, depending on how much Sven and Licorice can hit this. But I have to call attention to Immortal's quest to deny history. Because, as talked about last game, they are now undefeated directly after playoff elimination, but they are winless the game after playoff elimination. So if they win this one, not a 0%, which I think the first win is always the hardest one to get.
That's true.
And it would also mean...
What are these stats?
You never know.
Yeah.
Okay,
You never
the
know.
game after
Dignitas as well, they'd have the
elimination,
most,
they're 0-4.
visually synergistic season.
They would.
Because it would be 2 wins into 10 losses into 2 wins.
Maybe that's
Perfect.
why they did it.
They just squish those bookcases of losses in the middle with the 2 bookends of wins.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Let's go, guys.
Cinema there. We'll see if Immortals are going to be able to pick it off. You know, Dignitas has had a pretty up and down split themselves. They've been really competitive against some very good teams, you know, taking wins off of.
I know the Nautilus is kind of doing a little bit of troll-a-roll in
dropping
there.
to Shopify in a 2-0 there. Castle does try to sidestep, can't quite do it. Is he going to get slapped up? I'm not even sure if they need it. The watch out, Eep bonks him over the head. And it's going to be the flash forward from Licorice to guarantee it. They chase him down. They get that kill.
I mean, it's all mass.
Mask is pushing, though.
Kind of like ego pushing, playing for himself, selfish. You have to make a crazy play, bro.
It's going to be a little bit of
the
delay
only way they
by
win.
Armeo. I don't think more would happen other than delaying recalls. But the more Dignitas can trade gold cross-map, I think the better, as long as they're not falling behind in these trades. Like the fact that Sven is 3-0-0 on Zeri makes him a little bit inevitable. I think the Corki Zeri scaling, as we saw in both of the Cloud9 FlyQuest games, has been very victorious today. So Dig shouldn't be panicked or quick to make any moves. They're actually in a fairly comfortable spot.
I mean, I'll be honest, it's going to be Lily
It would
asleep.
be nice to see Sven, you know, have a big game.
Yeah,
right?
Seekers
Because
now,
he's been
too.
solid for Dig. And when you think back towards earlier on in the split, he had some
Bro,
really
of
big
course,
games
the
that
only
people were
fucking
very,
team that
very
can
excited
lose on
about.
Lilia,
But he's been a lot more
goddamn
quiet the
fly.
last couple of weeks.
Inspired. What the f are we
Carry
doing,
performance,
man?
I think would do a lot potentially for his confidence going into playoffs.
And even though these are very experienced players, it's just their first split together as well. The only holdover on this entire roster from Spring Split was Isles for Dignitas. So
I was
everyone has been
emotional for
building
sure.
their
No,
synergy
he
on this
wasn't
big team
emotional. He
the
was
entire time. They have had more success in these
soft,
slower, more drawn-out type games where they can actually keep the game in front of them and get good setup on these neutral objectives. Last game became
see
a
our
little bit too much of
mouths,
a banger,
Lilia. I've
even
seen
though
it.
Looked like they had
I've
a lot
seen
of it
it.
in control
I've
early
seen
on,
it.
and
I'm
with this
inspired.
next breakup in 30
They're
seconds,
both very similar.
I'm curious to see how they play it because Sven is very strong at the moment, but so's Mask. So a lost fight here could be pretty disastrous for Dig.
Dig do have TP advantage though, so I think it would be tough for Immortals to fight unless they can.
I think this is good. I think they can
this
hook Nautilus like that.
If he joins and he gets stuck in a 4v5, it could be really problematic. So Licorice is pushing in. There's the hook onto Armeo, but it is
has
just
the flash.
Armeo.
Like I said, this Nautilus can
and
just
Isles
die
has
for
to
free.
flash out after it, so definitely not a
Mask
great
has
hook from
flash.
him. Licorice has backed
He's on
off,
2-item
trying to
power
create space.
spike.
You can see in the bottom left, Castle wants to mark him. He's saying you cannot get a free TP
Oh,
here. So
1v1
he's going to
top
turn around
lane.
and take the fight. Castle's trying to run.
Wreck
We'll see if
his
he can find
losses.
it. It's going to be all out there from Licorice as he's taking the 1v1. Dominus has been popped. A flash to try to dodge it, but he catches him on the Q3, and Licorice gets the solo kill. Anything you can do, I can do better, says Licorice. Gets the solo kill back onto Castle after last game. The bullet time taking out Isles.
Kill the Nautilus. They're second guessing themselves. Blow everything on Nautilus. It's worth it. I swear to God. He's the reason you're not able to pilot your character. Nobody else can frontline.
When his team very much wanted to contest this Drake, so Castle is dead. However,
they're gonna try the
he
dragon
teleport
anyway.
Back, so Immortals still might get the Drake out of this. They're starting
No
up
way.
with
They
Castle
lose
ready to TP in.
Yeah, they had a big HP advantage. Spica trying to
They
fish
lose.
over the wall here. The Swirl Seed not connecting there. But Jensen
they lose
Spica
the
working
game.
on this.
Trolling.
Sven is over the wall, but they need to get Licorice here. They need him to create that space for the squad to guarantee this. Armeo's hanging out. He is on vision, so they know he's there, but they're scared to step up and potentially get CC'd by him.
He really wants to
Isles
steal
coming
it.
back now. This is getting a little bit dicey. Dig just needs to buy time till the rest of the members do arrive. They will do so now, and they will secure the dragon.
A very successful sequence for Dig, especially if they can extend this
Wait, they
further.
lose the... Okay.
Doesn't necessarily look like it, but they took the top turret. They got a solo kill.
Probably
they denied solo
Probably
point,
Meadows
up
like the most
2,000
boring thing to play there is right
and
now.
They have the better scaling.
I mean, it's
so they're
lane
gonna be
swap.
very happy
Like
about how those
last
opportunities
game,
went.
Yeah,
there was no
absolutely. I mean,
lane
it's a tough
swap. It
situation
was
for
actually
Castle because
nice.
he's
Like
weaker
it
in
was
the
1v1
he knows
top.
it, but he also can't allow him to get
Skill
that
check.
TP, and now Tactical potentially in trouble, and Castle is going to try to come into respawn, but he's still in the top lane, and Licorice is there faster. They're going to be able to get the kill. The sleep on 2, the flash in from Spica. Can they get more? It doesn't look like it now. Castle finally responds. I thought he was going to do so earlier, but he did not. does get the slice through the minions, but it's just going to dissuade them from pushing in. Licorice makes all the difference on that road.
My stomach's hurting.
And Castle was nowhere to be seen.
Licorice definitely getting revenge for that game 1 here. Weirdly enough, a lot of it is from that early lane swap. He's held that 1 to 1.5 level advantage pretty much the entire game, and he's constantly made Castle play from that back foot.
I mean,
now,
gold
Licorice,
chart isn't insurmountable.
Play in the mid lane is even getting this bot wave completely in before his
you guys
reset.
probably don't know what a word that large means. It means it can't. It could be overcome.
A bunch of kills. The scaling continues to mount for Dignitas.
Yeah, and Licorice, again, TP advantage now, because he didn't actually use his. He just walked down. You know, when he showed up, I thought Castle was going to instant TP and try to respond, but he just continued to push out top. I guess he thought it was a doomed play, that he wasn't going to be able to actually save anyone. Then when they looked for that dive, Spica flashed in with the Q flash.
No way that ever gets
respond
swept.
to that. So again, it's going to be Dignitas with Prio on the map. Castle can't win the one-on-one. He's down 2 levels right now, close to level 12. But Dig have the ability to just set up plays on the map. Always
don't want to mess up, bro.
The extra man.
Yeah, and I think it's important for them to recover from that game 1 loss, win the next 2 games, go into playoffs.
Yeah, I hate that BT starting Evan feels like shit. Wait, what else feels better? Kraken? That shit's trash.
Would rather
Lethality?
have selection in that series, which is what Dignitas
That's low elo.
If they win the next 2 games, and they are looking cleaner here in the second game. They're not up against Soul Point. They're holding sideways very well. I'd say Speak is having a particularly strong game on the Lilia. Really good timing on his engages. And Isles, that's the second or third time he's really buffered one of those Immortals engages with his Nautilus hook.
Yeah, that Glacial Prison does connect onto Sven, but he knows he doesn't have to cleanse.
He nonchalantly threw that, but he had no...
Mario found the angle, but kind of wasted the ulti, unfortunately. The hook does connect here, but not going to be able to follow that one up.
Blitzcrank, that'd been fun.
No damage dealers are really in the area, and speaking out, playing behind Castle. So his job is just going to get that much harder, as he already can't win the one-on-one against Licorice, and now the jungler is there to help as well.
Castle.
Oh, good TP here.
It's going to be Mask arriving, so Dignitas just looking to retreat. We'll be able to back that off, no problem.
You can get the game priority.
Again, taxing these resources, Immortals.
I mean, you guys try-hard drafted, that's not what you're good at. If you were good at try-hard meta characters, you wouldn't have lost 10 games in a row.
And
true or false? It's true.
Probably continue to slow play this game because of the scaling that we talked about. I mean, Muramana is going to be completed by Jensen very shortly. Sven now has a 450 gold bounty, so like if I'm trying to think of how Immortals makes their way back in this game, it's Ole kind of pulling off something random, but it's harder to do on Thresh than it would be on Bard.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's always that chance that you find those perfect hooks time and time again, but Sven has cleanse.
Who's a perfect hook? Zeri cleanse. Not ever going to get range of Corki.
And this Nautilus ahead of him, very likely, so your targets become few and far between for Ole. It's very difficult, especially when you're on
meta's always better. Not all, okay. There's a reason why they're meta.
Like
My whole thing on pro play is there is 100% champions in every single role that are better than the meta champions or can counter the meta champions. Pro players are just too scared / inexperienced or unwilling to learn them.
The ability to check a dangerous
like I am 100% convinced that the meta does not have to didn't have to be Corki Tristana for as long as it was. There is something that beats it.
For Ole to succeed with this pick.
Has been tough,
people don't want to try it. People don't want to get called out for trying it and it not working.
Has 2 items,
etc., etc., etc. 100%.
Still have a lot of late game power.
So,
yes, MF is not a
for Immortals, for instance, they're bad at the game. They're whatever this meta is, whatever they struggle. Clearly, they lose so many in a row. They won last game because they were playing like goofballs.
To try something, but there's not.
They went Bard against Nautilus. They went Zen Jungle. Doing their own shit that they play. They have nothing to lose. Comfort picks.
When you're in these losing situations with worse scaling.
Why not?
There's a pretty high chance that the soul slowly goes over to Dignitas and Immortals loses the game.
What they say, scared of money don't make money.
Try something, but if Dig never gives them any windows, then it's not going to work. And right now, Mask was pushing deep, and I think he's caught.
Yeah, Mask very far up there. The depth charge is going to come through. He's going to flash, but the hook is going to be there anyway, and he is just gone. The ulti does sweep them back, but doesn't even matter because Immortals not going to be able to do anything more. Armeo's in a lot of trouble. He is just getting knocked down lower and lower and lower. And now the massive sleep comes in from Spica.
MF-ult, actually. Wow. I was looking at MF-ult. Oh, Castle!
Spica is low. Spica may just go down. They do get the kill onto him. Tactical trying to catch up to them. So many low health bars.
That could have been nuts. They have passive?
But they can't keep the chase going. I mean, that bullet time made such a big difference.
It was an amazing bullet time. I feel like Tactical is insane at the moment as a level 12 MF chasing 4 people, but he's actually done it for now. The Armeo Warmogs makes him full health, but it is still a 3v4, and Mask can't teleport back. I feel like this fight is not over.
No, it's not. And Licorice back in base. He does have his TP, I believe.
Yeah, he's
coming.
going
to rejoin now on the TP.
Zero
Can
does
they
not
kill
have
the dragon
TP.
and get out? That's the question for Immortals. They want to move themselves to Soul Point.
Oh, they got it.
But Sven is below them. So is Jensen. And Immortals are going to have to run as Licorice is just a brick wall that they don't think they can get through. Now the call is go back to the dragon. But this is getting pretty dicey here.
Miles is back, though.
Miles is going to arrive. We'll see if they can actually make the play happen. They
Nice
pull him
lantern.
out the lantern to safety. Well
Hey, they hook
done.
him.
Mask now back. Can Armeo secure it? Looks like he should be able to, so it got dicey.
Well, I mean, they made it to Soul Point again.
Away from the Mountain Soul.
And that was the clutch play that Immortals has been waiting for. It all starts when
I think MF is really good. These MF ults are actually zoning, like seriously zoning.
Mask dies, only gets his ultimate off for damage, and then once this sleep started channeling by Spica, I thought it was going to be a wipe for them right here, but let's watch what actually ends up happening. Armeo flashes out, and another incredible angle on Tactical's MF ultimate, not directly down the lane, a little bit to the side, bursts all of them down, and from this moment, to say actually let's hard force the Drake is huge.
Yeah, you can see Spica frustrated that he went forward, but we're back to live.
Wait, they finally picked Nautilus! He's been frontlining for fun the entire game. They finally punished. We've got to start the Baron.
Hitting it already. Olay looking for a hook, couldn't quite find it. Castle has arrived. Licorice is coming as well.
What do they have? Corgi Poke? Do they have Hourglass? I know he had Seekers last fight. Has he completed his Hourglass? He has no flash. Gotta keep him off. Oh my god. Ultimate Way is here. Finish! Ultimate Way is here! Ultimate Way!
But the damage is being
the zoning ult! It's very Baron!
Is in trouble, but he is able to back it out. Can they get out of there because the health bars are low? Immortals do get it.
Embarrassing, Dig.
They get the Baron off a couple picks. Immortals battling back into this game.
Immortals is clutching.
Are you cheering for
we didn't see the beginning of
IMT now? Because I can't
just
stand to watch another game.
5v4
That's
that
it.
Baron. And
that's literally
never
it.
Gave a good approach for Dignitas to come in. I gotta say, the 0-2.
I predicted 2-0 Dig, but I cannot stomach another game. So I'm trying to
push them back. It's just making it difficult for Dignitas to actually complete any single one of these engages. And even though it was a 1 Drake and 4,000 gold earlier, it's now close to about 2,000 gold. And Immortals wearing this Baron buff need to make use of this Baron buff to try and get more. Watching this pick, it looked like Olay and Armeo making it happen.
Yeah, Olay was able to
Hasn't
flash
been
in
2
there,
hours.
found
I
him with the flash
DC'd.
play, had the hook to follow. Those are the aggressive moves you have to make on the Thresh. You can't just sit back. You can't just play it slow like you can on some of these other supports. As you said, it's
the driver's seat. Now Dig shaking, and again, Dig tried to win this game.
When you find these little skirmishes where I think Thresh can really thrive. Now Sven doesn't have a flash, does have the cleanse. They're going to try to delay this push as much as possible. You can see Castle escorting in those Baron minions in mid.
And Jensen's
just all meta on Dig. All meta.
This is a classic Jensen play. This inner turret will
all
make
meta.
And he's just
every single champion meta.
Won't give up too much on the other side, but this is the inhibitor likely going down.
Yeah,
oh my god, we're going to get 2-0'd by Immortals. Tryharding every game.
Jensen's
Oh my
gonna
god.
be on him himself. And who's going to actually call stop? Mask is TPing. This is an awkward spot. Okay, that got a little bit scary. I'm not going to lie. Mask does get out. And the Lantern should get Armeo to safety, but now the question is, can it actually get them all out as Licorice is coming here on a really good angle. Olay drops the box to try to buy some time. Can they get the Blast Cone? Yes, to try to buy a little bit of space. It knocks Licorice over the wall, and that may have just saved Immortals here. Tactical going to be able to push him back. Armeo gets out. That was really dicey.
A bad day to be your credibility? I don't give a shit. I'm tilted from desync during the FlyQuest game.
So, who cares? Yeah, Immortals would love to have this type of bittersweet ending to their split, I'd have to say. If they could 2-0 Dignitas, despite being eliminated in the playoffs.
I mean, how sorry is FlyQuest? Inspired, you're sorry, bro.
Because even going back to spring, I think people did see.
I didn't even watch the ending, and I know you're sorry just from that one play. Inspired, dude.
They did not, but now up against Dignitas, if they continue
Bro,
this
what happened?
They could
I
actually
swear, I used to watch him on EG. Him and JoJo. I actually watched them.
Weirdly not completely Immortals favored. I still don't think they have better scaling. Sven is huge. Jensen is getting more and more items for late game poke. The Baron buff not super successful, plus 2,000 down in about 10 seconds. They can maybe get this turret to make it almost 3,000, but they need to continue to make plays to win this game.
And I think the next play, there's a hook though, it connects, and the bullet time coming across it.
I zoning ult. This map's broken. This is broken.
The Lantern is there to bring him to safety. He is.
Okay, Greg!
Mayo in the middle of 5. And
win it down!
No chance.
Greg will find a way to lose!
By Licorice, got him right up against the wall, pulled him back to the rest of the team.
Never lose hope, guys!
In that, though, will still be slightly Immortals favored. The bad thing, though, is that is a
that was your sole point.
You see on Sejuani, and a 15-second respawn timer on the Drake that Immortals wants to get to try and get Mountain Soul.
That really sucks. It's such a key pick for Licorice to be able to not quite guarantee, but almost guarantee that they do get this.
Yeah.
Jensen is pushing out top. When he shows, it may give Immortals a little bit of confidence to be able to actually move in here and try to retake this area. Of course, Jensen does have TP. He just hit level 18.
Wow.
And likely has quite a bit of gold in pocket, I would think, because I feel like he hasn't been back to
that was, they were stronger. They had bot and hit pushing.
So he's going to have a full item buy here. Dignitas do grab the dragon, so Immortals are going to have their soul at the very least delayed, if not outright denied this game. And now you're going to have to deal with Jensen, who is going to be tough. I think he's just staying out on the map. Maybe he just wants like a full
You need him
ID
to least. That's when he shows up to the enemy team.
Yeah, let me check this real quick, how much gold he's sitting on. Yeah, he's sitting on 3,400 gold.
Yep.
There is no objectives up at the moment. Baron's minute 45 seconds away. Next Drake is going to be 4.5 minutes. So Jensen now has enough gold to go.
This Renekton GA is annoying to deal with.
IE completed. Sven barely taking that blue buff. Mask wants a pick.
Mask is looking, but Sven is going to slide back. Can he actually find the angle? The
he's
TP coming
strong.
in to respond here.
Focus,
this one is from Licorice.
Well, that's
Mask has to
Cassante.
back up, but they're
Oh my god, that's going to try and one-shot him.
Burst him down. Can they find it? The hook misses as Licorice flashes out to safety.
I mean, Worth got his flash.
And a flash just to run away here.
Ooh, with bot and him now. Corgis goes bot
enough
on
to
the
get
top.
the resources out of the Dignitas top laner.
Yeah, Mortal's staying aggressive. I will say that was kind of greedy by Jensen. It's nice to full buy your IE, but since the game is going nowhere anyway, it put the team in a bad amount. It put the team in bad tempo. So because he reset there while the blue buff is spawning, Sven then kind of wanted to get the blue buff, and that whole sequence.
Crazy how both these teams would clear all of EU. That's also facts.
Pick, but you know,
I mean,
no actual harm,
like I said,
so no foul, and Jensen can go back to hit minions.
EU used to be a one-team region, and now G2's getting their ass beat by everybody. Fnatic sucks. G2 beat Fnatic, and like after throwing to like that region's just as fucked as an A. I'm not gonna lie.
Anyone can die very, very quickly, whether you're a tank or not. You get caught, you die fast. And Licorice is going to have to hop back the rest of his team. Remember, there's no tower there.
He'll find a way.
Did he go too far forward is the question, as he is getting really low. Licorice as well, down very low, but Armeo has the Warmogs and should be able to heal it back up. So the fact that he gets in, gets out, means Licorice has to go back to base, and he's just chilling.
Ends up being a nice aggressive play. Tactical also got the Nautilus R pressed on him, so no Nautilus
We're trying.
R
We're trying to find a way.
The next little bit as Baron is restarting.
Armel is trying his best. He is.
From Misfortune. They're going to try and run the same play.
They're rushing Baron. I think it's theirs.
They can delete this, though. It's
they have no wards. Their support's in Fountain. It's theirs.
I think he's too late. It's too late. It's already going to be dead by the time
What is Dig doing?
It is smited down by Armeo.
They'd love to fight here. Castle C.
Dig plays 100 Thieves. Remind me, by the way, if I forget about... Oh, Castle? Yes, GA, so he's playing like a dumbass.
There's the Lantern to try to get Castle to safety, but Castle is burning down.
Okay, remind me next week, by the way, that right now I am saying I want 100 Thieves to win. I am predicting 100 Thieves to win. Don't let me forget this.
But he was walking in the face of multiple Dignitas members to do it.
Really nice Baron, really strange overforce from Immortals, because Castle had no sliced dice, flashed into a Merktread's Corki who buffered with the Valkyrie. That's just never going to give them the kill, but I feel like they're thinking that they have the Baron and it's time to push their advantage, get that 2-0, and end their year on a win, which is an opportunity that's actually afforded the
That's who they lost to PewDiePie, facts.
Really close for him to survive there, and otherwise he would have lost his GA, which would have been a disaster, because then they can stack on top of you potentially as you are ready.
What if he had his flash?
At least just losing that.
Also,
it means you're not gonna have it for the fight. It also means for this next.
Me personally, I'm playing for Dragon Soul.
In late game is a completely
yoinked that red.
different champion. So much weaker.
Yeah.
Really
I am
do
telling
depend
my
on
team
that
I'm
to get
back
in on the back
here
line
and
to
I'm
put that
playing
damage
Mountain
out.
Soul.
But there is
I don't
a
give
nice
a shit.
overlap
I'm
for
playing for
Immortals
Soul.
here with the duration of this Baron buff and the respawn in the next Mountain Drake. They have Baron for another minute 40. Drake is up in a minute 20, so they should be able to get both mid and bot waves in deep, get some good vision, and then peel back for the Drake. The danger here is how greedy do they want to be to try and break this turret, and if Dignitas can get
I'm not
something
greeting
to poke out
at all.
before
I'm
this
playing
Soul
for
fight,
Soul.
'cause
I'm
the
pinging it.
Mountain
I'm
Soul
still
could be
pinging
a big
it.
win condition here for Immortals.
Absolutely. Olay just continually fishing over the wall, but Dignitas very well aware of his positioning. Licorice did push out that top wave, back now with the team, though. And we'll see if he can keep Castle off this inhibitor as Olay again and again throwing out these hooks. No real cost to doing it. They are going to be able to step forward, and this mid lane tower should fall. Armeo escorts Sven back as the mid lane inhibitor is going to go down. Jensen pushing forward
and
on
bot
the
inhibitor's going to
here.
fall.
Looks like they want to try to make some sort of action happen down on the
They don't have
bot
to,
side,
though.
but they don't really have a way to start a fight just yet. Until
here we
now,
go.
It's an Armeo. Are they going to commit?
Whoosh!
The bullet time across multiple members.
Beautiful MF ult, though. That is guaranteed Mountain Soul, and they can get this inhib. The game is over. The game is over. Immortals 2-0's Dignitas. Immortals 2-0's Dignitas, sweating every single pick.
But Immortals still hanging around, and Jensen is playing.
You lock in
with fire.
Corki
That
for that.
Azir hurts.
You countered Azir
That's huge. Jensen has to reset
like that
now.
for
It's a bit
Corki.
of a
You're
cooldown
like
check,
the
though.
ultimate
Tactical's
cringe.
ultimate is
He
going to be
first
down for
picked
another
Azir.
62
You
seconds,
could have picked
and
anything,
Jensen is home
and you were
guarding
like,
out of
oh,
this now,
give
whereas
me
Immortals is
Corki.
not even in position for Drake.
And you
So they might
lost
actually want
to
slow play
Immortals.
this, hope to get a pick as someone on Dignitas check, but starting the Drake outright could be risky, yet here we are.
They're just going to try to burst it down.
Oh, they got it. They got it.
There's no vision in the area from Dig. So Immortals will claim Soul.
Oh, man.
One step closer
Finally,
to
a Corki
2-0
pick loses.
over
Oh my
Dignitas.
god, thank God.
What a wild series.
It makes me so happy.
As much as Dig knows their next opponent in 100 Thieves,
You do not want to go out like this.
you do not want to get 2-0'd by Immortals going into playoffs.
Yep, and it's
Especially
bad
this
momentum.
game where they were 5,000 gold ahead.
Yep.
Against the Thresh team. I mean, maybe
Embarrassing.
We're
all
been the key
billions
this whole time.
of people
Thresh
are
hard,
watching this,
even
by
though,
the way.
like,
You should be
What has
ashamed.
this comeback been?
You should
Immortals
be
still only has
ashamed
5
losing to
kills.
Immortals.
It's been
Yuck.
so much just like poking and prodding and dancing around them with Warmog's regen from the Sejuani, poke from the Misfortune. Immortals is playing like a pretty solid macro game. It's very disappointing for Dignitas if they can't close this one out, and kind of cool for Immortals if they will
Billions,
actually
I
close this
said.
out.
Billions.
They are really close to losing this game now. Your 2 inhibitors down, the wave's getting pushed in mid, Castle's escorting in the wave top, Spica's down in bot lane, so did just complete an item, is going to rejoin with the squad. You can see Licorice trying to aggressively clear this out and maybe finds a pick on
don't
Castle.
lose your GA,
Castle
bro.
potentially in trouble here. He's going to dash back in for Jensen. Valkyrie's back to safety. Now the Glacial Prison connects on Licorice and the TPs are coming in.
Inspiration.
Who's gonna
Okay,
go
lost
down
his
first?
GA and
It's
he's
a
out.
GA pop there, but Licorice has to flash out.
Oh, he has
and
to die.
Mask
He's
is
not
on
gonna
the
die?
chase.
Oh my god, wait, this
Tactical's
is
potentially in trouble.
Oh.
Jensen's going to flash over and he hits the rocket. Gets Tactical, and we've seen this one before. Tactical playing a great game, getting caught
my
in a key
god,
situation.
they're throwing
Can
it.
sometimes
Immortals
spell
is
disaster
going
for
to Immortal.
but this time, there's no way,
Immortal
there's
is
no
going.
objective.
It's definitely going.
When in doubt, they'll find a way.
Because that was the 2 inhib down setup for Immortals, where you use the pressure of the 2 super minion waves to break open your third
True,
wave.
actually.
But
They blew
I
4
kinda feel like
flashes.
Immortals
We only blew
overprioritized
tactical
the
flash.
mid-wave, and Castle. This is the replay where Castle says, I was in the right spot, you all were just not in the right spot. Because, yes, Tactical
Not the
can
best
get a decent
MF-ul.
bullet time off here, but now he needs to go.
Should have ran
straight.
back.
He
Why
needs
did
to
he run
go
that
to
way?
the
What the
side towards the mid lane. Beautiful shot there at the very end by Jensen. And
We're in the jungle, bro.
Everyone knows it. He's like, how many times?
This is why we suck, by the way.
I mean,
and not win.
You guys are so cut
It's a
after
great
the.
rocket that gets the kill, but even without that, he flashed onto Licorice. So he was dead either way. He just lost track of where the Cassante was, you know, and wasn't confident about which way to retreat.
Baron in 30. Maybe
I
that's
agree,
Mountain
it
Soul
became
ain't
this awkward
shit.
Situation where they're trying to funnel
Ziri
over
and
there to help
Corki are
Castle.
skilled
Castle
as
trying to get between 2
6
sides.
items.
I don't know if the lantern had already been used or wasn't available or what happened there, but they couldn't get him out safely. Loses his
How does
flash,
Ziri
and
die?
Without flash, it is very tough
Has
to
to be
play.
Mask.
So vulnerable
Mask has to
someone
make a
like
play.
Spica here. Of course, there is Mikhail's on Olay, who could potentially defend him.
And with Baron coming up in 15 seconds, I have to remind you, there's more at play than just these 2 teams. There are supernatural forces working here because Immortals, I will say, after being directly eliminated from playoffs, they are undefeated. The game after that game, they are winless. So even it looked like they were winning.
Dropping
I don't
this
know overcome
They're
this
just
trend.
doing Baron on spawn. Let's find out.
Let's go.
That ward hasn't been spotted. Now it is. They're hitting this very, very fast. Mask is going to kill it quick. Castle on the other side. He's going to be engaging on Spica, trying to keep him away.
This is
Olay
clunky. What is going on? They're playing this so weird.
Castle who's getting picked off on the top. He is rotting down further and further, and he has no GA. Remember,
this really is stacked like a
bitch.
bitch.
Need to get out of here fast because Castle is useless from this spot. Is going to be able to get back
for
to
bot
base.
and Hib.
To teleport, but he will have to do the fight without Dominus. So I think Immortals may think better of it.
35 seconds left on that ultimate. It's pretty fast at this stage in the game. There are supers in bot. Tactical deep pushing that mid wave, which then forces Dig to respawn. And Mask just absolutely melts this Baron. Fast two-man Baron here.
Yeah, it is gone. Immortals claim the
so
Baron.
Elder is in 2 minutes.
And this could be
you
the
can
straw
top
that
to
broke
mid
Camel's
to
back.
bot.
We'll see if they can end the game with it.
Both
with
inhibs,
open inhibs.
top inhib.
With the Baron
the
buff,
game is
they
over
might be able to
if
put finishing
you
touches
play
on this
macro.
series. If not, we are
it is
facing down 2
unwinnable
minutes until
for Dignitas.
Elder,
It is
could be a
completely
potential
unwinnable. There is no world where they can ever win.
We're
Ever.
seeing an Elder.
Nothing they can do. They just
No
lose
world we're not
for
seeing
macro.
Elder
You don't even
after-
gotta interact
after
with
this
enemy
clean
champions
closeout.
anymore.
Sure, it's 2 minutes away. You have to wait for the Elder at least. That's a max build
all the fantasy
Zeri.
points.
Max build Zeri, max build Corki. Immortal's just going to try and push these waves in as deeply as possible. And like
Just
the way
push
that
the
they've been playing
waves.
these
They
games, like,
cannot
can
contest
even
Elder.
approach the Elder? They've been deep pushing them. They've been controlling vision. Currently, they do not have setup over the bot side. They're actually rounding up to try and break open this third inhibitor. Even though the other 2 inhibitors are alive right now, not sure about this setup by Immortals. Let's see how it works out.
Yeah, we'll see Castle pushing in this way. They're trying to step forward.
Ooh, that was
looking
close.
for the hook. Just barely misses there on Jensen. But Dignitas equal to the task to clear out that first wave. The question will become, you know, as these waves
Renekton's almost at GA.
Who goes down to answer Castle? Do they fully commit to one side? Or do they just accept the fact that they might be losing these inhibs?
I mean, Castle just gets pushed out by Jensen, no problem. And Dignitas still have Sven to clear this wave. And if Spica ever lands like a nice E, they could potentially have the go button and a 5v4.
Not hitting it so the waves synchronize.
This is a temporary 5v4 if Dig gets the engage.
Yeah, Sven getting poked down a little bit. Isles is kind of playing with fire on the side here.
Look at their chunk.
It's
keep it up. They
Can't
cannot win. You don't have to interact with their characters.
Buffer, though, from Licorice. Immunes that hook. As Immortal stepping in, but he's going to get hooked in the tower range. Olay drops the box, but it's not really doing anything, and Armeo has to flash out of there to stay alive. He will be able to warm Mugs back up, but again, in goes Isles, and Isles is going to drop the ulti on a Mask, but Mask just sweeps back to the tower. He's A-okay.
Brother,
they do get the teleport out from Castle.
if Lamau finds a way, I'm going to be pissed.
Full-on engage. Now the turret taking some damage. Another hook comes in.
What are we?
This time it's Tactical, and Tactical is gone. We've seen this one before. It's up to Sven, though, as Castle goes flying in. Sven's got to get the work done here. As Mask falls as well. The Zonias does nothing, and Dignitas are on the chase.
Oh my God!
Hooks to the Gromp. The zap will not slow him down.
But what is wrong with these freaks?
Spica is here, and Spica.
Oh my God, they got wiped.
The mid wave is deep. Jensen's.
Oh my God, they're gonna end the game mid.
Zeri's on the way.
You're fucking kidding
me. The
me.
game here.
I think they will. It looks like that could be it. Off of a hook from Isles.
Oh my God! Immortals. Brother, if you don't just lock in the most for fun champs I've ever seen in my life, you guys needed to. Brother, what are we doing? That is an unlosable game, and of course we lost it. Sweet, man, I can't wait to watch game 3. Are we going to lock in sweat picks again?
And send us to game number 3.
This
Dude.
is so scripted. Like, it's happened. This is the 5th time Immortals spreads Corki, who buffed.
Brother, this game is. It cannot be lost, by the way, unless you're just the worst players in the world.
Has 5.
Tactical potentially in trouble. Jensen's gonna flash
Like, whatever. Okay, did they agree with the sequence? Blah, 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 blah. They played good macro. They got the Baron.
On Jensen, but Dignitas.
Bro, I'm just playing Elder here, and honest to God, 5-man mid-wave with Baron and hit the hit. You're stronger.
And if Spica ever lands, like
I don't know, Corki and Zeri are pretty strong,
they
actually.
could potentially
but,
have
like,
the
dude, just go get them inhibs. Just refresh the inhibs again. Hit the inhibs. But, like, dude, whatever. At least do that. If you're not going to do that, why are we doing this?
Sven getting hooked. Sven getting low. Gonna get hooked in. Good buffer there.
Okay, we're like, oh, did they think that...
Is looking for a potential hook.
They still had the turret bonus damage?
Low. Good buffer, though, from Licorice.
Oh, they're like, wait, we don't do bonus damage. Uh-oh.
Immunes that hook.
Oh, I'm gonna E and then get queued.
As Immortal stepping in, but he's gonna get hooked in the tower.
Oh, and I'm gonna get knocked up here. I got a flash or I'm gonna die.
Olay drops the.
Oh, no. Oh, I did flash.
Box,
oh,
really
nice lantern, Olay. Oh, and we got okay. At this point, it's like, oh shit, guys, we kind of trolled. It's fine. I have Warm Mogs. I'm gonna heal back up. Everything's fine. We don't have Threshold. I did lose my flash. I'm a dipshit. I apologize. Elder is spawning. We're still in the driver's seat. Baron buff. Azir's huge. They can't match our macro.
Has to flash out of there.
Oh, let me front line on MF real quick.
To stay alive, he will be able to Warm Mogs.
Oh, I'm going to flash ult the Azir, but it's fine. We have a turret. We have a tower. This is fine. We're going to TP here. Honestly, I don't think it's the worst TP. It's zoning.
Sweeps back to the tower.
Okay, everything's still fine. You know, Lamau is healing, right?
Okay.
It's fine. Wait for Warm Mogs. Wait for Warm Mogs. Okay, wait, guys. Slow. Guys, Warm Mogs. We're just now 5-man stacking. It's fine.
About a full
Oh.
engage.
Oh, where's tactical walking?
Now the
Straight into a Nautilus hook. The only thing you couldn't do. But it's not like you're ever going to auto this anyway. Just the only thing you couldn't do.
Out from Castle as he was worried about a full-on
your attack damage carry whose flash is up in 10 seconds, 30 seconds.
Now,
but like even here, the call was something. Like, oh, fight. Okay, maybe they wanted to like Sejuani ult to back him off the turret because MF actually almost one-shots this turret. So if MF doesn't get hooked here and she autos the turret and they can somehow walk up with Reactive Flash, the turret actually dies.
Taking some damage, another.
But we do get hooked. We do get one shot.
Tactical is gone. We've seen this one before.
Azir ult, nothing.
It's up to Sven though as Castle goes flying in.
Oh my god.
And Sven's got to get the work done here as Mask falls as well.
Dude, they could have just taken inhibs. They had Elder up. You know. I mean, like I said, I predicted Dignitas to win. What did I say? 2-0 or 2-1? I don't know. I said Dig. But brother, you make us watch another game.
Win one-on-one. Yeah. And the reason he's rotating over was because of the chunk. Then he's trying to go back as Armeo's getting chunked, so he's teleporting. And this is what I mean. It looks like a coordination/comms issue because no one
Look at Speaker. He's like, you guys suck. Look, he literally said, you suck ass.
We're winning. We're losing. Teleport. Don't teleport. Like, it does get very hectic and very confusing in that situation.
Odo would have won it for them so easily. Well, I don't think Odo would have actually won it because unless they forced, because Corki and Ziri were fed us.
That cold graph gets at the very end.
Yeah.
If you're Dignitas,
they would have had no Baron.
Feel really bad about this game, but they are already out of playoffs.
Okay, last game of the split.
If I'm Dig and I'm looking at this,
before playoffs,
I am not happy.
lock in something fun. I do not want to see whatever the that was. Our Lamau just goes in again or something,
any expectation going into the next game, a champion change, or just any form of execution that you think Dignitas needs to do better, or IMT?
I think Dignitas are doing well in their drafts. I think that this game should have closed out earlier when they had the lead. They just weren't able to do so. Like, they just need to do the basic things a little bit better in the game, and it should be easy.
All right. I mean, I think this is probably a great calling for Dignitas. They get more time on stage, more preparation.
Mr. Positive.
There we go. Guys, they
had Baron and Dragon Soul. They could have Baron and Dragon Soul.
They want to be able to get side select. So let's hope if they can win this game, they get side select. We're going to be going straight to the break. When we come back, game 3, Dignitas IMT.
I need to go get a snack. God damn it. Bro, FlyQuest, you. Fuck.
I'm TPing still. Yeah, it's fine. Keep going. We win. Yeah. Sentinel ulti, okay? Looking 3. I'll look Sage here. Looking Sage once. Yeah. Watch me here. Cancel the main. Devil chasing. I missed. I'm dead. I'm bad. I'm hooking him. Yep. I don't have any woods. I'm running. I can look for Q flash here, okay? I hit MF. Oh. Yep. Wow. I have to go find a way. Karazir. I sleep Azir. Azir will be slept. He has flash.
Abi.
Go mid. Okay. Wow. Tactical finds a way.
Welcome back to what is going to be the final game of the summer split here for the regular season. Dignitas versus Immortals. It is game number 3. Immortals win an absolute banger game number 1. Looked like they were going to close
All right,
it
they're
out
smiling.
in game number 2. Got all the way down to the finishing touches. Nearly.
You have to go back and watch the replay.
We're sieging the 3rd inhibitor. Had the Baron.
You missed out on Dick Collins. It said tactical finds a way.
Unfortunately for them, tactical.
Here. Looking Satchel once. Yeah.
Yeah.
Satchel ulti, okay?
Looking 3.
I'll look Satchel here.
Looking Satchel once.
Yeah.
Watch me here. Cancel me. Devil chasing. I missed. I'm dead. I'm hooking him. Yep. I don't have any wards. I'm running.
I can look for Q flashy, okay?
I hit MF.
Oh. Yep. Wow. Tactical finds a way. Azir.
Tactical finds a way.
I sleep Azir. Azir will be slept.
He has flash.
Go. Okay.
I told you.
Tactical finds a way.
I told you. He was laughing at them.
If you expanded it out to
side, and they have a lot of pride.
I told you.
Yeah. You know, I think back to the.
It's like so mind-numbing to ever lose that game. The only thing you could say is, well, they're gonna like, Immortals is gonna Immortal.
Also talking about scheduled wins when they got to play Immortals and Shopify. They got 2-0'd by Shopify. They nearly just got 2-0'd by Immortals. That has to sting your pride. You want to be playing at a high level. These are guys who have won lots of championships, who have been at the
guys,
very
I gotta play your
top
ads now.
of the game, and now
Shut up or shut up.
struggling to get it done against a team that lost 10 straight.
Everyone on this Dignitas team has a significant sized chip on their shoulder. Licorice.
All right, guys, who we going here, Immortals?
First team All-Pro.
Last game of the split for you. What are we playing?
Split. Gets this spot on Dignitas. Time to redeem himself. Sven, very successful support on Cloud9.
Very unbeatable champion.
Played 80 carry for years. Goes to Korea, gets 1,000 LP, gets another chance to be the 80 carry. Jensen goes all the way to finals with FlyQuest. But they wanted to try out quad, so Jensen found a different spot where he could start in the mid lane. And if they go into playoffs after losing to Immortals, that's going to be a downer. It will not be the end of their season either way, but you know they would love to get that win moving into playoffs.
Yeah, it definitely has to weigh on you a bit. You know, you can only take so many losses before you start to doubt
Dig,
yourself.
are you Kidding me?
What's not working? Is it me? Am I doing something wrong? Am I not good enough anymore? You know, all these kinds of things can be difficult. So
please make this Corky pick
like
lose.
Playing for potential jobs in next year, as well as just a little bit of pride here. We have the Zeri.
Dude, the champ doesn't lose. I don't know how it doesn't lose.
Ezreal, Kalista, and Ziggs banned up by Immortals, and it is going to be the Rumble.
Most boring champion in the game, and he never loses as well. It's awesome.
Guaranteed to be mid for Jensen. And you already feel like when you see Rumble that the opposing team wants the lane swap.
Zin, okay, I'll take your Zin pick. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If it is going to be a
Cho'Gath, go Cho'Gath, please.
Sort of a look toward
go Big Show.
Do
it.
Cho'Gath for us, guys.
Do it.
They're already freestyling with Thresh earlier on.
Do it.
Story behind the Cho'Gath hover that we know? I don't feel like there is. It's a Cassante.
Why? Like, somebody please give me a reason why. They are literally playing for nothing. Like, I'm dead serious. It is the last game of the split.
If there's a Cho'Gath story, I'd love to hear it, but that was a very strange hover to me. I will
the
say
team
though,
might even cease to exist. Why are we going like sweating like this?
Doing that against Cloud9 every game. The teams that they are practicing these swaps against are also getting better at swapping. So it's this collective virus that's spreading around.
I'll take a Kaisa pick.
Word,
I like a Kaisa. Kaisa's fun to watch.
I'm sorry, Freudian slip for me.
Yeah.
But
no deal. Well, the pros have cover picks. They used to OTP before going pro too. That's what I'm saying.
Here, Cassante and Rumble.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think it would make a lot of sense for Immortals. We do have the Kaisa locked in here for Sven, so he's going to be playing a little bit more of a dive comp potentially. You know, you have the Rumble, you have the Kaisa, can get back into the back line. Potentially the Corky softens you up. You draft some more dive buddies in your 4-5, and then you look to see what can you make
I think
happen.
them for funning
of course, coming out,
like on a cover is actually their win con. Like seriously,
he was very effective throughout that game, even though it was in a loss. Was a low kill affair, but it was problematic for them. Maokai going to be banned out here for Spica, so taking that away, don't want to be able to have any additional engage and support from them.
Quick callback, the NACL picked Cho'Gath and smashed, so somewhere in the NACL, Cho'Gath was picked.
Okay.
So maybe a bit of a callback to that.
Woo.
I do want to see Dignitas have a little bit more Kaisa setup. I am not a huge fan of having no solo lane CC with the Kaisa. It can make it much more difficult to enter the back of team fights, but they'll likely just have Nautilus on 5 or 4 since it's unbanned.
Whatever, I get big tryhard pick.
Coming out, potentially worried
because
there about
they're playing for something.
Into the Corky, a bit of an aggressive matchup, and also the Poppy.
And nobody wants to lose to Immortals. So just go Renekton, man. You're going Renekton. Stop cycling all these fun champions and lock in Renekton.
Jungler or Poppy support, or even moving
go Renekton.
Top lane and having a Poppy top.
Go Renekton.
Our angles for all that kind of different shenanigans, but don't think we're going to see it as the Lilia will get locked in. So we pretty much have our top,
it's Rumble top
settled now, as it is going to be Rumble, Lilia, and Corky there for Dig. They're just waiting on their support. Potentially going to look for support counter pick here, as obviously it's going to be Xin in the jungle, Cassante top, and we have to find out, is this going to be a mid lane Zeri, or is it going to be a bot lane one for Tactical?
I'm pissed.
I'd imagine
that
we're going to see Tactical Zeri, and we're going to get to see Mask on a mage against the Corky. So
Talia,
yeah, locked in Talia and Rel for hard engage, and now very surprised if we don't see some hard CC here in the bottom lane, because everything's up.
It's a driver that came in the same team. It's called Fearless.
I really think Nautilus is such an obvious combo, with the Kaisa to be able to actually apply that plasma into the back line.
Why do they do that thing where they cycle through a bunch of off-meta champs with 0 intentions of picking them? Because they think it's like funny and they're being unique. Like, bro, this is literally what everybody does. It's not funny at this point. It's just cringe and annoying.
The Rumble Equalizer ticking during that, which can be pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, look, guys, I'm gonna go Jax here. Ooh, oh, what's that? I'm gonna lock in the same Metaslave character I've played for the last 8 months. Oh, and by the way, I'm Lassie.
And over on the other side, what is more of the old school traditional comp where you have some engage, you have some tanks, you have mage in mid, and then you have a hyper-scaling AD carry.
Piss me off, bro.
Similar to Immortals team comp last game.
Alistar's good against Rel. Zeri never dies, obviously. I like the Kaisa pick. That's fun. I'll say the Kaisa pick's fun. We got a Zin pick. I don't think the Zin pick's that fun, but it's better than Sejuani Maokai.
40 to 45 minutes. I think they'd like to have a cleaner version of the games that they've had so far in this series and end their summer split regular season on a high note.
I also really want to just see, can Mask get aggressive on the map? Can he be moving around potentially with our mail?
When they bag in my fries, they're going to be cycling through my bag to make sure everything in there. That's for sure. True, bro. I said no pickles.
here where you
Hey, I said no pickles on the burger. They better not have no pickles on it.
Pretty respectable damage, but generally more so into melee champions that are kind of running in towards you. It can be a lot more difficult to apply that damage towards these 80 carries.
Tyler, who wins this? I predicted Dig to win, and we're already at game 3, so
but either way, we are going to be heading on to the Rift here.
But Dig picked Corky, so I'm going to see him lose.
Split. This one is for all the marbles, such as they are, between Dignitas and Immortals. Immortals trying to get a win here on the board.
It is for all of the remaining regular season marbles.
Yeah.
Every single one.
How many are there?
All of them.
All of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I will say,
remaining.
I will say, I looked at the stats before this series.
Mods need a Gamba. Mods.
So we talked about in game 1 how Immortals is undefeated in games immediately after being eliminated, and how they are actually
here we go. What's the stat,
winless in the game after that. We have one more stat.
What about the game after the game after the game?
Well, IMT after the game after the game after playoff elimination. It's only happened once, but they're winless.
Oh.
So we'll see. It's not as strong of a trend, but it is something.
It is a trend.
It is something.
You guys gonna lane swap too? Guys, are we also gonna lane swap?
One of the marbles that they're playing
see if they can break that streak.
We'll see if they're gonna be allowed to do it. There's about 1,000 pings on the fact that Tactical is playing Barrier, so he's not playing Cleanse.
They're type
this
my
game.
game.
So is potentially dangerous if you do get tagged by Spica. There's no answer to that sleep, and again, Equalizer plus sleep, that can be a pretty deadly combo. Alistar can come in over top. Freak season, baby.
Barrier buffs, baby. Tactical solution to that, don't get hit by Lilia.
Yeah, easy.
The barrier.
Just don't get hit. Don't get Alistar comboed.
All right, nice. At least we're 2v2ing. Let's go.
Yeah,
let's go. At least no lane swaps. I'll take it, bro.
The barrier can be really strong, and it's definitely better, I think, in the 2v2, but it's always dangerous. And Ole, he's playing the Rel this time. It's not like he's playing Enchanter, so it's very unlikely that we will see a Mikhails coming in from somewhere else. You can, of course, get a QSS later on, but we'll see if it does end up being relevant. You know, maybe will not be a story.
That Miss Rook crying right here.
That worry, of course, that he could get caught out by Spica. And we even heard them in the comms. I mean,
oh, it is raining outside. Maybe that's why my power went out.
Brutal, man. If you're
it was storming somewhere.
But as Tactical gets picked, Spica's just Tactical finds a way. You know, he finds a way, and they were actually going at him in the lobby chat as well. And Jensen was like, "Oh, I could be home by now," and you found a way to lose that game, Tactical.
Jensen.
Tactical did have a nice rebuttal at the very end, though. He said he was too bored farming to 6 items every game. So nice. Trying to keep the spirits up as this series concludes. Tactical and Ole, though, successfully getting the early shot in this lane, partially because of the barrier.
And us successfully not having a lane swap. So that's a win. That's a dub. We'll put that one on the board.
See, nobody likes this cringe lane swap stuff. The casters aren't even commentating on it. How it's terrible. Can we just like ban it? Like, dude, all Riot has to do is be like, by the way, teams, there's no lane swapping. You pick your 80 and your support will go like, dude, just say it, Riot. Just do it.
Look in this matchup where it can be very difficult laning against that Rumble. It is very frustrating. You know, just kind of stop position on the minions, flame spitter harass can be pretty difficult to deal with for these tanks.
Yeah, so far he's doing just fine, though. It's just about managing the wave right and not getting in a position where he needs to shove it in but doesn't have jungle help.
And I will say,
this is going to be a slow
here is when it is AP jungle and your laner is also AP.
Might have another 45-minute classic.
Some early MR, and then you're never really going to die. Like, you might get poked out of lane, but you're never really going to die. It is these early overheats, though, that can be quite dangerous. Nicely played by Licorice. Back steps before the Pathmaker could come through to try to even out that trade.
Yeah,
why is swap bad? I don't think swap is bad. I think it's
game. I've seen that
good. What you're doing.
The question
I just think it's boring.
How far do you go into
and
MR?
It's not bad.
Because it is double 80 carry that's going to kill you, right? So, you know, you do need to go Mercs very likely. You know, if you're worried about that, sometimes people just love tier 2 boots and rush towards it. You can also just go Cowl and get like tabbies later, you know, and go into armor. But it's always the question of how much MR do you get? Because especially if you're having a bad game on a tank, we've seen games, you know, where people will go full Kayn and Rookern, and then they're sitting on Kayn and Rookern and Mercs, and they're showing up to 5v5 and just getting absolutely blasted by double 80 carry again and again and again.
Yeah, I think that's also kind of why, as I want to make sure our Mayo doesn't cut off this point, I think it's also why it's almost more important to have 80 AP damage spread amongst your soul laners versus just having like 2 AP soul laners and then a Vi or something. Because if Castle itemizes hard against Licorice, then all Dig has to do is send Jensen against him in the side lane, and they'll immediately have push.
Is it a thing? It gets you out of bad matchups, right?
Then
you have a stronger top, or they have a stronger bot than you. You just avoid it.
Absolutely, is a good point. And we'll see how much
you get to like IQ check the enemy as well.
It's always that fine line,
it up
because you can also go too far the other way, where you're like, all right, I'm gonna build barely any MR. I'm gonna start stacking armor early, and then they just keep side laning against you, and you're getting pounded. So. It is a little bit of a delicate balance, and we'll see how he does navigate
this
that.
game, but why do teams not just block in Malphite when it's quad AD?
Guaranteed here when Corki is involved. We don't have any really
so armor stacking
explosive
doesn't
ganking
exist
junglers,
nowadays.
so both of them just going to be farming
almost
pretty heavily.
ever.
Olay is looking to threaten, and
you're playing Malphite
out as Mask
season
comes
14.
in.
Really big trade there by Jensen, landing everything right in the face of Mask, and now Olay
if they swapped Maokai's ult
with this wave so you can go and reset,
and you can spam it like that.
Trying to get him out of there.
Be fine.
Mask dings over to 6. And Olay will also be able to be the recipient of some of this experience, which feels pretty nice. You can see Castle now hitting 6 up the top lane.
It's taking
all the soul laners do hit it. Yeah, and Jensen has thinned the wave enough that he can actually just pull the wave if he really wants. But it would be taking quite a bit of damage himself, so he's just going to push this out. Mask, of course, has no TP. Jensen's going to see...
You're saying Malphite's weak? Yeah, I think Malphite's trash.
So it's going to be fine. Jensen decides to just shove this out, but Mask has stayed around, and I don't think Dignitas are going to have the damage to look for a dive, as Jensen is pretty much
really
so
Dragon.
Will just move down towards
Immortals definitely not going to give this.
Immortals
right?
are in the area, but I don't think they're going to find any sort of an angle.
Yeah, I mean, this is all set up from that original trade by Dignitas, and Jensen. Basically, Jensen getting that huge burst of damage when Olay and Mask were trying to set up the 2-man on him, gave Spica the window to start that Dragon. Spica's had such a happy start for his Lily in this game. He got to full clear Scuttle, which gives him the item. And now we're going to fight over Crab.
I want this. Armao.
Armao is so separated from the team, though. What was
Lamau going in? What is he doing? His best! Let's go, Lamau.
Donated over to Jensen. Armao got way off the same page from his team as the rest of the squad.
Let me wrap this one up, says Lamau.
Very questionable fight over the Crab. Apologies for talking through the start of that fight. I did not expect it to be happening because there was no reason at that point.
Hashtag Grignitas.
Sven, man. Come on. The man has had a tough split.
Yes, yeah. Sven wants to make it a little bit tougher. So we'll watch this one more time.
We will.
He's just like,
by the time we're showing
show the
this,
comms.
He's already in way too deep. His team can't follow him. Tacticals beyond the back of the Dragon Pit, and Jensen gets the kill.
look at they're all just laughing at him. Like, bro, he's just a laughing stock in the community.
He
doesn't gotta feel bad.
The flash from Spica. And so I understand, okay,
with the entire region just like laughing at you, like, no
offense. We can see just based on the
has
summoners that Castle went all out and forced the flash from Licorice, so that is nice. The equalizer will be forced, but yeah, I mean, maybe that play works if everyone's behind you, but again, this has been what has kind of plagued them a lot of times, and we're going to see this replay down on the bottom left, finds the Pathmaker, looks for it all out, very likely as he overheated at a very inopportune time, and it did mean that he had the flash. Yeah, Negatron Cloak being completed by Castle as well makes it much easier for him to take these trades. It looks like he is going towards Scenic Recurrent as his first item. And Armao back on the map trying to take these grubs. Will say, as I was mentioning earlier, Spica's still pretty happy about this game, been able to full clear, get his early AP item, and now probably contest the last grub at least. Yeah, going to be able to steal one away, it looks like. Licorice went straight in towards the tabbies, so his damage is going to be quite delayed, but I think he's feeling pretty nervous after losing his flash there. Yeah. And given that it is double AD top and jungle,
what did happen to
wants to just be able to survive the storm
in
these next couple minutes.
I think that's totally fine. The story of this game, I think, will be Jensen's Corki, and if he just is able to keep this prio in the mid lane and
going to look here. Can he find a Q flash and knock him back, perhaps? No. Instead, decides there's not a play. I'll just taxi back to the minion. Spica was leaving the area, so discretion, the better part of Valor in this one. They potentially could have traded flashes, but even that wouldn't have been guaranteed, so overall, the correct decision after...
Whoa, what did you say? Are you guys making fun of my stutter?
If you try to trade flashes and then combo, if he just throws
that make you guys feel more manly?
Stunned as you're Wing in, so you kind of just knock him to safety. You really have to get
close
like
a man.
to kind of like Q flash and then knock him back and do
making
some
fun of my
janky combos at times, but Isles trying to put on the pressure, keep Jensen safe here in that mid lane to allow him to push it out. And as you said, Jensen, the recipient of that first blood, so more pressure on him to be a big carry threat. But honestly, Corki doesn't usually do that much early. It's kind of like, okay, he's accelerated towards 3 items where, you know, later in the game he's going to do
these dragons spawning fast. Hopefully one of that Dick takes it on spawn.
Speaking with a lot of control here, actually, and he's still getting good trades. Ooh, maybe not.
Yeah, we'll see. Mask is poking him down, but I think he's going to be just fine. Did take a tower shot on the back end of that, but Jensen had a big HP advantage, so just meant that things kind of evened out. Both mid laners can back it off if they want, and both of them have teleport available. So Olay trying to play for some vision, but Sven defends the pink ward, and they are able to clear out that Shroud ward. So
I'd like to see Kaisa do something
more spooky, though we do see the Spico is spotted on top side. Now TP's coming in. Spico's going to have to run here.
He went for this.
Knockout
Look at flash.
Watch out, in
oh my god, he goes to flash and just sidesteps it. Oh my god, oh no, his flash is down. Oh my god, and he just lit. No way they all live.
Now in trouble. Has his flash, won't have to use the equalizer. Drop in Armeo, just barely does not burn
Oh my god, wait, Spica is...
Doesn't look like it.
Little Matrix movement. Oh my god. I thought he had flash, so he was egoing the side now that shit, but no.
Now Armeo is going to even take the crab after all this.
Wait, him living there is actually crazy.
Weirdly tense early game for as low action as it's been.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many low health bars here, as we're going to watch it one more time. Just kind of a battle over the crab as Spica didn't spot Armeo until just now.
Hey?
Yeah, Armeo using that control ward, waiting for Spica to use some cooldowns on
That's
the crab.
just a sidestep.
Spica needs to ult defensively on the way out. And then right here, I thought they'd be able to finish the burst on him, but either Spica or Jensen,
flash?
I thought
he doesn't even have to use his
that
flash.
W by Armeo just narrowly missing.
That's so close. He couldn't have had more than 20 or 30 health.
That's crazy.
There, I think. And Jensen hadn't been able to actually finish his base because he started his base a little bit earlier, so Mask had TP'd back. Jensen had to cancel his base to be able to actually be involved in that fight, so was a little bit light on damage. Potentially, if he had finished that buy, would have been the extra damage for that kill.
On a sidestep, it's a miss. I think that's a
sidestep. Now back on the map, already on the dragon here. Looking for their
first lane song would be a better if it were a common solo queue strat. No, I think it's just terrible.
Did take the first one.
Might get a fight. Licorice has TP if they can delay
your ass in there.
Yeah, they are looking like they want to posture for it. We'll see.
Get your ass in there, bro.
Dragon getting low.
Real has flash. This could be bad.
Want to do it, but the flick back on
oh my god, you're gonna die. He's not gonna get ult.
And just knocks Olay away. Olay does burn down. And now the teleports have arrived. Licorice is in the back line. Crescent Guard popped by Armeo on the other side. Isles still hanging around in case he can find a window to do something more. But it looks like it's just
gotta go, bro. You gotta go.
Two Dragons to 0, 1,300 gold up. Immortals still killless. That was a well-played little game of cat and mouse.
Then such a troll pick. I don't think he's the best, bro, but no, I'm gonna puke if I see Sejuani or Maokai again.
Massive for his tempo. So they needed to be close enough to Immortals that Immortals couldn't just burn all their cooldowns on the Drake, finish it, and get out. And then because they were able to do that, you see Licorice now, since he's already bought.
Wait, so is playoffs played on live patch as well? Corky's getting nerfed next patch.
Yeah, he's going to feel really good about that.
Playoffs on live patch.
Pretty nice gold lead is Hextech Soul. So again, that premium soul that is available, especially when you're playing double 80 carries. Really, really powerful. They have the two early dragons.
No.
That happened so far in this series. It has been Immortals mostly dictating the dragon game. And now they're back up here over by the Grubs. Immortals did get 2. Dignitas got 1, but it looks like they're going to be able to move up to potentially 4 here, as Armeo is just on a lone mission in the area, and it would be a one-way trip if he tried to go in for it.
Yeah,
let's go for it, bro.
Doesn't want to give up Krugs, but Castle certainly does, because he's not
anywhere close. His live patch, yeah, but I'm asking if they don't lock it before playoffs.
Immortals was not in the position to fight. Castle gets the bot plate, he's got the Kanan Grooker, and he actually wants to just fight this Rumble if he could.
Yeah, Licorice knows that they could be making a play here because all his team is topside, so that's why he drops the equalizer and is playing so far back. And he is, of course, right. Olay was there, and Tactical was threatening to move down. So Licorice plays it smart, drops the equalizer, clears it out.
For
there
Soul.
won't be any sort of a look for a dive. Is Jensen now pushing up top?
Mr. Coach Streamer? I guess so. Let's play Azir instead. I don't care. I think Azir is much better to play than Corky, because at least Azir at some point is going to make a play. Corky just like
the Cassante with the
sits
way
there
he's made
and
the
does
Cassante
nothing.
itemize. He's actually not stronger in that 1v1 against Rumble, but he'll still be pretty strong when he hits level 11 and is able to use the ult on particularly Talia or Zeri.
Corky has package out, that's true.
Where he's really trying to get his power at this stage in the game.
Jensen gonna Valk in.
That's true.
And does force Mask to retreat as he'd used his spells on the wave to just push it in. So forces the ulti out, not too big of a deal, but Mask hasn't been able to get very active on the map, honestly. Jensen, though, has no Valkyrie likely still. Does now spot that they're in the brush, so should be playing it pretty safe. Will back it up, but it is going to be very likely the Herald going over to Immortals, who do grab an objective back, and we'll see what they can get done with it.
Yeah, pretty tough to make good use of Herald when you're the team that is down in the game, but it doesn't mean it's
down
not
grubs
worth
anyway.
taking.
It's a 2
In
grub
terms
Herald.
of Dignitas, Speaker was just on a bad jungle cycle as Lilia. He wants to just keep farming his camps as soon as they respawn. Seeing that Herald get committed to, though, does give him time to make a play on the other side of the map.
Ruchi, you're taking a Korea's bad, bro. It's because you're watching 8 players on. He's flat out broken in the East.
Jungle, the red
Brother, I watched.
Yeah, I guess going to try to take something away.
Faker play him.
See, Tactical is in the area, so it's going to be
that champ
trying to push him back. Castle's there too, so Speaker has to be a bit careful. The Hex Tech gates are there.
Please,
so
Rajat,
is going to be able to walk
do
it out.
something to make Silas a Akali meta.
Here from Jensen as he again lands a nice chunk, and now Isles coming in. There's the flash combo, the flash forward from Jensen, the auto land.
You're dead.
That is going to be enough. Isles gets the kill. It costs them 2 flashes and the ignite, but they can take the tower off the back of it here too.
Are you crazy, Akali? For pro play. For pro play, Akali Silas.
Up in absolutely any trade. And then also, he's always had his team in his back pocket.
Oh, Licorice may be in trouble. He is overheated. The sleep going to come down defensively there onto Armeo. How much damage can they get done? He is burning down. Armeo flashes out the TP now coming in. This one's from Jensen. He's in the back line.
He has no mana. Okay, doesn't matter. You don't need mana to kill Lei Mao.
Castle in the midst of everyone, but it doesn't look like he has the damage this time. He goes all out, but Sven flashes away to safety.
Whatever, my prediction was right.
5-0 for Dig.
They may have just blown this game wide open. Jensen, I don't even think had based before teleporting in, so now he's going to get to spend his 2,600 gold after this one. He is very accelerated on that Corki, and it's just going from bad to worse for Immortals. Every fight they take.
I voted for
Armeo
Dig to
also
win.
Having a particularly rough game. We're going to
I wanted Immortals to win last game so that it was a 2-0.
Fight as Spica, let's see what happens. Is it actually Ole that goes for the original engage?
Bro,
I really think that Immortals is
is Ole's ult down
here, because that was a Rel Zin just flying into a
it's
Lily
up.
Rumble when their Zeri is on midway. So they start
Ole.
with a numbers disadvantage.
Ole, come back!
And then the teleport comes.
That was winnable, was it not?
I think this has really been the Immortals' struggle, is that you can understand the play is they're going to find a pick potentially here on the Isles. He doesn't have the ulti available, so he knocks someone back. He's trying to get out of there, but will get run down, very likely burning down. Tactical picks up the kill. That's a nice play for Dig.
Oh, shit!
Click back onto Sven as well. A second pick onto Dig as Immortals.
This game.
Drop the Herald, take the Dragon. They should get the tier 1, maybe even a charge
40
on the
minutes
tier
long.
2. That's a big series of plays here for Immortals.
Oh my God.
Got
It's
an
gonna be a long
objective
night.
bounty, and they get the Dragon, so it's going to be a second objective bounty here, and that is going to be a massive swing of gold here that kind of ricochets them right back into the game.
Just when you thought they were out, they pull it back. A ridiculous series of events here. The moment the objective bounties spawn, they get a couple of kills and 2 objective bounties, and now the game's like, whoa, hold on. That was a lot of gold. Objective bounties are coming off immediately, but not before Immortals claimed 2 of them and closed what had been, I think, a 4,500 gold difference, now closed to 2K.
Yeah, it was pretty massive, and Tactical now up 1,000 gold. So again, he is that hope, and as he often is. I mean, you have to credit him with putting himself in positions where he can potentially carry a game. He often then does get caught out or make some mistake that kind of hurts, but he often is in these spots.
Hey, look at Jungle Diff.
This time around,
because up a shit 40 CS.
Jensen, but Jensen is just pounding him.
That's it.
As he has no armor at all. This is the situation I'm talking about. When you rush full Panic, he's building even more MR after that. You are paper against a Fed 80 carry, and Dignitas has 2 of them.
Yep, and Jensen continues to be locked in this game. Immortals now send more people towards bottom lane. So that's, if you include Castle, 4 committed to bot to try and pressure this turret. I think Isles and Jensen want to
Ice is coming from mid. Let's get an ult on Isles or combo.
On the tower on top side, and they have that grub spawn, that Void might spawn. He can even move into the jungle, potentially take away some camps there, as we see Mask is trying to come over and respond. They stole away the enemy blue buff. They defend the tower. And Immortals definitely
get good at a game, City play.
But it did work out in that last one, so we'll see.
Get good at a
what
game,
they can
then
get
start
done here
streaming
in these
that
next couple
game.
minutes.
Boom.
Sven escorting in this wave mid, but Tactical will be there to defend, and Tactical just about has that second item completed.
Tactical looking to end the season on a high note.
No
Immortals
problem.
was so close to getting that 2-0 in the last game. They had the Mountain Soul. They had multiple Barons, but they couldn't quite close it out in the end. Started this game,
that was
definitely not been ideal,
an atrocity.
but you never know. Especially when it's so tricky for these players because they've grinded the whole year. They know this is going to be their last game of the year together. Very long off season. Anything could happen. Could very well be the last game they play as a team of 5. You want to have it end on that positive note. And it feels like they were a little tilted after that Game 2 loss, but they're on the precipice right here, I feel like. This is, if the next thing goes wrong, they could lose control of the game. Notice the armor immediately bought by Castle after getting one shot by Jensen as well.
Yep. Nice, he bought a chain vest, bro.
Definitely going to need that. I mean, this game was looking really toast for Immortals, but that last series of plays made a big difference. Still getting chunked out. He's going to be put to sleep here. And this is looking like a nightmare if Dignitas can get in and finish him off. Not going to be able to do it. The rest of the team plays bodyguard here. As Jensen walking up from bot lane, so wants to connect with the rest of the team. We have to remember, Dignitas will be able to kill this Baron off so fast. Last time Mask was playing the Azir, he can shred through it.
Baron,
but
hit Baron,
do a very similar thing to a Baron.
Not to mention the Leandries on Lilia. So Dignitas just trying to play with pressure. They got those 4 grubs, helps their turret damage just a little bit.
I think
Sven closes the gap.
They were thinking about going over to Baron. There was some pings over on it, but just want to clear out that vision. Licorice just holding Castle down on that bottom side. He has his Leandries done now as well, and we'll see where he's
Mask is not good.
As items are concerned. Mask.
But it was all right last game.
Inactive game, I will say. You know, hasn't really been able
I
to
mean,
find any movement.
at least he's not slamming 80s mids, but maybe it's because he can't play them.
And then be able to move on the map, find plays where you're cutting people off with the Weaver's Wall. Of course, you can still do that later in the game, but it can be difficult to find that correct.
2 levels down, 50 CS? Yeah, I know, bro.
Team comp, pair Talia with an 80 jungler, even if it's not as meta.
Like, he's sitting on, like, no gold either.
Some of the early skirmishes, the Lilia just laps him in terms of pressure. And that's one of the reasons we see so many AP junglers, because if you do try for a gank or have one thing go wrong early, you're going to fall 40, 50 CS behind. In this case, it's 70 CS behind that Lilia. And then when Xin is behind, you're going to lose all the 2v2s, so Talia can't move forward. And I will say, Dig has done a good job keeping Jensen ahead this game. They're consistently shadowing him. Miles, like, the reason we haven't seen Sven this game
might throw this game. I mean, they threw 5,000 gold lead last game.
All that help is going towards Jensen.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think rightfully, right? Because
they threw a 5,000 gold lead last game. They handed the win to Immortals, and Immortals just chucked it right back at him.
Over 200 CS, he has more than the enemy top laner.
If
nearly as much as
5,000 gold lead throw was
now
a nice one,
bro. Is going to flash, but Spica is right there. And it's
it
just
is nice.
Arms of
Wait,
him.
this
we'll see on the other side if they can try to turn this round as it isn't engaged, but the sleep is coming through across multiple members. Zen looking for the angle. The killer instinct is there. He gets one. He gets two. As Licorice and Sven combine to cook him up. But there's Castle on the top side going all out, but he just pulls them back.
Baron in. Come on, guys.
Tactical on the run, trying to get out of there. That's 3 easy kills for Dig. Baron is on the menu.
That's going to be Baron unless something absolutely inconceivable happens. Dig
don't put it past
find
him.
Yet another pick, and it's just about following around Jensen. They go to Corki.
Don't jinx it, bro.
Good things happen. 7,000 gold lead now for Dignitas.
7,000 gold lead. The Dragon is available for them, and we can watch this one more time. It started out with that potential pick on a Mask.
Yeah, Mask does walk over that ward. Isles uses that window to sneak to the side, and then a very quick
it's like here, there's like, oh my god, maybe.
To have the sleep mark on him, and then watch Sven here. Because the sleep is the CC, he can Kai'Sa ult in for the execute and picks up a free Xin Zhao afterwards. Then
Xin should have went in for the back line and just like sacked Rumble.
Pick up their 3rd kill.
Yep, and that was really, really good. That killer instinct, the sleep setting it up as you called out. It also got him away from
Dragon as well.
1v1 against Tactical, so
it was
back
at it again
with
another
correct prediction. Into an easier side of the fight, so kept him safe. Gets that kill, nicely set up by Spica, and a good initial pick there from Isles, utilizing the vision.
This is how we're going out, Immortals.
Not even gonna bother using
this is how our
here on
split's
Castle.
ending.
Knows he'd likely have the Pathmaker ready, but now he gets too far forward. Playing with fire, gets knocked back. The Pathmaker's not getting you out of that. Castle just gives him a freebie.
And Dig is going to take a lot with this because Talia was trying to do that gold trade top lane. That's been very sped up because it's at least an inhibitor. Jensen already on the mid wave. How much can Dig get here?
We'll see as they are posturing to push for more here, but mid lane is already there. Jensen's going to be knocking on the door of that 2nd inhibitor. Speak Up playing on the side.
They had it too.
Immortals trying to wait for
They were going
to
end the split
really
with the 2-0
of
the powerhouse.
They did push out top as you called out.
Now
so
they're
it won't
ending
be
with
a
a loss.
triple inhib, but it's 2 super easy inhibs. And now the sleep here comes in. The equalizer over the top.
Wait, why did she wake
down.
up?
Can he get out? No, he's dead. Armeo's burning as
Wait,
well.
why did Tia instantly wake up from the rumble?
But he's got no support whatsoever. Does sidestep the swirl C, but Jensen is rocking him with the rockets, putting him lower and lower and lower. Another
Dots
one
don't
hits,
wake
and
up? I
Taxel's
never
gonna
knew
get
that.
back.
Oh my god, really?
Zen picks him off with the snipe, and now in goes
Wait, Equalizer is just a
Castle is
dot?
back, but Castle's just gonna die again. And
Oh
it's
shit,
season
wait, that is
after
crazy
all.
damage for
They're
a
gonna
dot.
end this summer split on a high note, putting the finishing touches on it. Picking up kill after kill after
Low
kill.
diamond you are?
On the
Are you
door
dumb?
to Immortals Nexus. Dignitas.
Let's go, Dig! It's Big Dig season, bitch! Woo! Never doubted them. Actually had them winning 2-0. They lost. They won 2-1. It is what it is.
2-1 and heads into playoff with side selection advantage.
Dig season just arrived a little bit later than we expected. They have the 23-minute win.
All right, not bad, bro.
Win here in this
I'm gonna say it one more time. FlyQuest, what's going on, bro? FlyQuest, why'd you lose, man? FlyQuest, why?
Standout player in this game 3 for me.
FlyQuest.
Definitely a disappointing end.
Why'd
for
I
this
have
Immortals team that we
DC?
thought we were gonna get the 2-0.
Yep, we're gonna be joining Raz though on stage for an interview.
Who we interviewing?
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? I'm gonna be going for Speaker here. Hey, Speaker, if you can get me on this interview, come on over here. Speaker. Not, if you want to, you can go for the bow if you want to. Yeah, okay, get in there. Actually, I'll join you guys.
Don't bow, Raz. You didn't do anything.
All right, okay, guys. 1, 2, 3, bow. Thank you, thank you. Actually, Licorice, if you want to join in for this one, if you guys want to join, you can. I was picking Speaker, but if you... No, oh, Jensen, what the hell? Okay, you guys, it was a roller coaster of a series, and also it felt like a roller coaster of a split.
What's going on?
Think about the series and the split as a whole. Just any thoughts you have?
We can get better.
Yeah, you could, bro.
It's not dig season yet.
But not just yet?
Not just yet, but it will be soon.
Okay, well, you guys have secured your opponent already going up against 100 Thieves, but you guys have now also secured side selection in that series. Just immediately thinking about that series going up against 100 Thieves and now getting side selection, what are you thinking? You're going to be going up against River, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, last time when we played 100 Thieves, we beat them, but, they had Meech as AD carry, and now Tomo's coming in, they look a lot better. I don't know why Dignitas kicked that guy. But I think it's going to be a close match because, they've obviously been playing a lot better in scrims as well, so I'm excited.
Would you prefer Meech on your team?
I'll prefer Meech on other team.
And would you prefer Tomo on your team? Because Tomo's doing really well.
Yeah, Tomo looks good.
But you have been going up against, I would say, just talking about the roller coaster of the split, it feels like when you guys have gone up against some of the best teams, we've seen what has been really great moments.
Drama over there on
but then also some of the worst moments. And I wanted to, it is what it is. And if you guys have talked about some of your scrims performances as well, so just some of a reflection of what you guys need to improve upon going into playoff time so you can get the season rolling.
I mean, I think kind of a cope, but, obviously we're a new team. We're playing against teams like the top 3 teams, right? TL, Fly, and C9, they played together for a whole split. So I think we definitely have a lot of room for improvement. If you look at TL last year, they were like 6th place in playoffs, or going to the last split's playoffs, right? And then they ended up winning the whole thing. So I think we just need more games together and getting comfortable with each other, and we'll do a whole lot better.
How about yourself, Licorice?
I mean, right now it just feels like it really depends which version of Dignitas shows up. Because I think if the good version shows up, then we can win against anyone and we can win the whole split. And if the better version shows up, then we can't beat anyone. So yeah, I think.
This is honest.
Well, you guys have a week. You guys have time, right? So last message to the fans. Any kind of imparting message you want to send as you guys are going to be going into playoff mode?
Shout me out.
I mean, I think we're going to fist 100 Thieves, so I have confidence.
Licorice?
Yeah, I think it's a win versus 100 Thieves.
All right, one more chant for Dignitas, guys, after a banger of a series.
Just kind of hear somebody in the background.
And we're going to send this one straight to the lounge.
Anybody hear that?
Congrats to Dignitas. I appreciate that Raz took the bow with the team,
Yeah.
he was a
Classic Raz.
He was a big part
All right,
of
not bad. Okay, so next split, or next week, is playoffs, finally. And that's where the real action begins. Thank God, bro. Thank God. That is when the real big boys play. That's when there's actually stuff on the line. We got a little filler content. We got a little filler content at the end of this split. When I started co-streaming, it wasn't bad. I like it. But now every single game, every single series matters. And you know what else matters? Guys? Getting Garen gutted. Let's queue up.